square chin or more of a rounded chin? Yeah, you got a bit of a pointy chin. And you also got so you've got
有点比较跟 short，
伤了你，我呢？
你是
灰了，
你有一点像，有点是，他也是，
回梦，
他有点像，
人看的，
就是咯，人看，
那我看这里，看这里，哎，看这里，看这里像，你看他看这里像，啊，他是看你近，所以我这里是。你的好像是 round 了4号，哎，你的3号了，哎，你4号，你3号 ，you 3 you 4
How's everybody going?
cannot identify。你的是
Okay, so yeah, what's the meaning of all this? I don't understand. Is everybody clear if they're more square or if they're more pointy?
So I do
Which one's best? I love that question.
哎呀，你2号了。
Yeah.
我几号？
你1号，连1号
啊
，1号
Okay, so
，1
now
号或
let's
4号，
work out, let's
应该
learn
是4
about
号
what
，4
it
号，
means. I was just asked the question, which one is best? And that question's awesome because there is no such thing.
没有4号，他4号。
When it comes to face reading, there's no right or wrong. There's no, it's better than or less than. What it is it is. And it's just learning that that's part of who you are and to work with it, basically. Okay, so if we have a pointed chin, it means that we have a higher level of sensitivity. So it means if you're got your chin on the table, it means you're going to sway when the world events come at you. So when something comes at someone with a more sensitive chin, they're going to probably respond to that in a more sensitive kind of way. They may need a little bit more support network around them, more of a community or a team around them. Whereas someone who's got a very square chin, like I always think of construction workers and those sorts of guys, where they're really they're very square. So when something comes at them, when something happens, they're very practical. They kind of just like, well, it just is what it is. Like, let's get on with it, And then the sensitive person's like, oh, but this thing happened. It's like, no, we just got to get on with it. So it's like learning what your tendencies tend to be. Again, one's not right or wrong because the person that's very practical may need to become a little bit more sensitive and become a little bit more in tune with their emotions. And the person that's very emotional may need to learn how to manage those emotions a bit more and know how to take action when those things happen too. So from learning this about yourself, you can really understand, do I need support in a particular area? When's the times when, I feel like I am too emotional or when I need to be a little bit more emotional, and just making sure that you're getting that balance right for yourself, when things happen in the world. Did anyone see anything strange, weird, crazy they want to ask about chins through that process?
I heard about the Chinese baby.
Yeah.
Your face is more square.
Well,
I'm not
psychosomatics is different to Chinese face reading, I know that much.
compared to local sharp.
Oh,
The ladies like to have very sharp
really?
face, but that doesn't mean that they are.
No. In my book, Chinese face reading is different because I use a lot of different points. I'm not familiar with that at all. But I think everybody has the opportunity to be wealthy. It's about learning your personality and making it work for you. That's what my true value is.
So, I think that jawline, basically chin is defined by the jawline.
Yeah.
Jawline, cheekbones, forehead, nose, these most likely, like, coming out from here.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone who is Asian, like maybe Chinese or Japanese, or they will always have a flatter side of the nose, which is, I mean, and they will have small eyes, and so I mean, it's not possible that the whole nation can be, just categorized in one category.
It isn't. Did you? Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it's driven by perhaps a cultural, hereditary differences. So everyone from the same race are not going to look exactly the same. So you're going to have a bit more of a prominent nose compared to a different cultural background. But I think you can still apply some of those. So for that culture, you have a more nose or less nose.
Yes. Yeah. So for the people in the back of the room, we were just talking about how, in different cultures have different sort of tendencies for those.
members, because usually at this time
I get asked this question a lot all the time, particularly around this nose that you're talking about, this bridge of the nose thing. So when someone's got a high bridge of the nose, it means that as the energy of the Lord's coming out of them, they can kind of filter that a little bit and take action through that. So they still feel it in their heart area, but they've got some time to sort of make their decision on how to act. Those people who have a very low bridge here, it means they're very sensitive, so they feel that energy straight away. It doesn't mean that they can't take action, but they're more of a sensitive being. When I've thought about this a lot, I mean, I live in Bali
my name is Mr. Cho, I'm the president and founder of this place. About 2 years back, we founded this place itself, and right now we've got 5,000 members.
People have very low bridge of the nose
In the
too.
next few months,
Very sensitive people.
So we start off with Singapore,
But it depends on the culture of how that's built. Like I've seen lots of sensitive people and they're living in a culture that's very structured, so they're not allowed to express themselves. So that sensitivity becomes numb and they're not actually allowed to feel it to some degree. And so that's when we need to look at the culture of like what environment are they looking in that is allowing them to be out. In Bali, for example, they're very, I'm in Ubud and they have ceremonies like
this is our registration certificate. We are officially certified by the Republic of Singapore. As you can see, our logo Singapore to Singapore is Singapore Chamber of Commerce is approved. And
so,
you will start to see
there's no right or wrong around it, but there's definitely tendencies, yes. With the nose, like the Roman nose, that's a very
now, we welcome you to come down here today and we'll find a new partnership
have
growth
that
for
bump
revenue.
there.
The reason is we know that
And you
business
don't
is
see
getting
that a
difficult
lot in
for
some
you,
cultures,
and we
but
want to
it
make
doesn't
sure
mean that
that
they
you
can't be a
find
leader, but
down
maybe
here,
it'll be
which you are
a
very
different
confident.
journey compared to someone that
Now,
does have.
basically, we have a huge number of members coming here to actually present.
Any other questions about chin? Any other area of the face, really?
I'm very happy with it.
Before we move
Now, not only that, I must say that we also invite well-known speakers
okay.
to mentor. We organize a lot.
So,
I must
another
say
thing
that,
to
right,
notice
even
here
the
too
last year
of
President
this
Barack
slide.
Obama event, right?
So this chin is moving forward, so it's come forward, and then sometimes you can see a chin that's actually
we are endorsed by different
the chins that are moving forward, they've got a really good drive. Like as soon as they know what they want to do, they're the action takers. It's like I'm going to
different institutions. Not only that,
action.
more of Indian
If
friends
it's
of High
receding,
Commission.
those
I lead
people
my
take,
president
it's
group,
harder for
entrepreneur
them to
lead up
take
in the High
action. So
Commission.
they're going to
They
need
are
more
very,
of a
very
support
supportive.
team
Not
to
only
say,
that,
okay, come
different
on,
chamber.
let's go and do
We
this.
have a
Or
lot
you
of
might want those
overseas
people to actually do something for them instead of them taking action themselves. Does that make sense? So learning these things about yourself can be really important, particularly when you're in business, because if your chin, say, is receding, you might have the vision, you want things done, but you're not physically able to do it. You're going to have to want people on your team who can help you to make
We
this.
even send SCCI delegations overseas as well. That means to say whenever there's an opportunity, which there is a lot, we always send them out, to meet up with
Your zone of genius. So the next thing we're going to talk about when it comes to your face is your zone of genius. And this usually, for me, is your most prominent feature. So when I do a face reading for someone, I can read all sorts of things throughout their face. But there's always one or two things that are really striking about that person's face. So something that
the High
catches
Commission
your
of Sri
attention,
Lanka also very supportive.
the first thing that you look at. So again, what I want you to do is I want you to look to the person next to you and have a look at their face. What's the most, what's the feature that stands out?
These are all the big companies that come down here looking for business partners, and we want Singaporeans to actually know them well. So you can actually go regionally, trust me, you can create a lot of jobs, and they are always looking for partners. Now, not only that, ASEAN Chamber, Foshan Chamber, Malaysia China Trade, all these are beside the FOU and very closely with us for the events. Now, even the Busan Malaysia is basically the exchange of who came out and present. Not only that, the Malaysian investors development authority Singapore, you know, if you are listing your company, in Malaysia, need special advice, we really will link to one. Now, not only that, the applications, whether MBA students, UI students, top colleges, all came down. Last year we got more than 1,000 of them. This year we stopped for a while because of COVID, and once it's cleared, right, everyone will come back again, and we are looking at big numbers of 2,000. Actually, this year.
Okay, so you've all been looking at each other's faces
we also
there.
go to school like NUS,
So depending on what feature of the face
So myself with the rest of the other VCs, right, we
stood
go
out
down
the
and judge
most.
the school itself and tell the entrepreneurs, right, what mistakes
Can be an
they made,
indicator of
and advise
what
them.
to
Not only
really
that,
look at.
Korea as well.
Within,
And, we
like
even bring
your
Malaysia, all these are overseas
personality
things,
traits in relation
Now,
to your business.
okay.
So,
Okay,
you know,
now,
if
I'm a
you're
Singaporean. I
some
used
people
to be
might
an
have
army
a chin
officer
that's
in
really
the SES, okay,
coming forward, like
basically
you know, like Superman,
electronic
like
warfare,
you've got one
info
there,
assurance,
right? So it's like there's a drive. That could be the thing that's, you know, I did a face reading for someone the other day.
So basically,
Literally, it's like
we got 4
coming
vice
forward, it's
presidents,
like, okay,
CFO,
like, just
Evergreen,
not
I think Ralph Lauren,
so it was like that was a big part of who she was, and she
Evergreen
was,
Group,
she is, she's a
Dr.
go-getter.
will help you. Dr.
If
Tang,
your
A-star
lips
scientist,
and your mouth are the
Mindy,
most
bringing up China market
prominent
now.
feature on your face, it's
Okay,
like
so
your
basically,
creativity, your
US
sensuality, your
okay, my turn to
communication.
take care of
So
my
if you're a
Chinese
business for
entrepreneur, very
yourself,
good.
it could be
Okay,
communicating
Chinese
will be a
one,
big part of your
very good.
business.
Take care of
I've got a really large mouth. I
Jyoti
love
take care of
talking.
my Indian
It's a big part of my business. I
Now,
want to talk.
every
and
Monday
do
we
my
got CEO
business.
business networking. Okay,
And so it's utilizing your strengths in that area.
Sharing, okay, and,
If your nose is most prominent,
okay,
that's
5 weeks,
leadership.
one day
So,
open up for session.
you know,
Last
personal
month,
identity,
not
how you
was
step
discussed
forward in the
Friday
world,
off.
really embracing
So
that
basically,
part
yeah,
of
okay, we
yourself.
welcome you
It doesn't
to
mean don't
my
embrace
let
any other
last
parts
move
of yourself, but this
Now,
is about
every
like,
Tuesday
what's
we got
that
Instagram class,
number
okay,
one thing
so
that's
this
sort
one,
of
don't know why the
prominent
younger
on your
generation
face.
also always like to come.
If your
so you
eyes
learn about Instagram marketing
are
basic
most
advice how to
prominent.
reach out to the young people itself, the level marketing campaign itself, come down
It's your
here.
heart chakra.
Now,
So
Wednesday you got guest
living
speaker
with
usually,
compassion,
okay,
you know,
usually
living
chat lah,
through
present to
compassion
class
and
lah,
being the
okay,
compassion
Chinese
that you
business,
seek.
Jewish business course lah, all these
Maybe
things
that's
lah,
part
all
of
right.
like
But
what
right now
your
we are next week
essence
itself
is
we are
and
having
what
a
you
social
do.
gathering, okay, and karaoke. So community members,
Eyebrows,
please
your
come
throat
down.
chakra, again all about communicating.
Free
That's
for
like
ladies,
the
gentlemen,
most prominent part of your
okay.
face. Really
Okay, for
interesting.
gentlemen.
At the moment, there's this
Okay,
fad
now,
for women to have really big,
Facebook itself,
strong
right, is basically
eyebrows.
our
Isn't it interesting
class
that a lot of
also,
women
and
are
we
really
just
starting
teach Facebook and advice.
to
You are
voice
welcome to
their
come down free of
opinions
charge as
about
well.
things?
Okay?
Whereas
No
like
need to
20
pay.
years ago, it was all about
Friday is a
having
mega
very
networking
thin
later.
line
How many people coming in?
eyebrows. You know,
Where
how
people come
your
down here,
features on your
network,
face
know each other.
change how
Usually
you're
quite a lot of
expressing
crowd,
yourself and how
sometimes
you're
people
communicating.
So now because of COVID, I think much better. Okay. Now every Saturday we got mega networking. Those
They cut it
people
off?
single down here, they attend our meeting.
Oh, true, no.
Okay, that means to say, right, okay, tomorrow we
So this is to just give you a bit of a taster into what face reading is all about and how much you can learn about yourself from a face reading, and then learn how to
if you come
bring
tomorrow,
those
right,
aspects of yourself and really focus on it for your
You'll be at
business.
3 p.m.
Instead of sitting behind your computer and just trying to get it done online, like
Every
are you
Saturday
really
got
utilizing who you are to get your business going as well? We forget about that. We look more to the strategies and the structure rather than the person who we are and who we need to step
Now,
out.
we have our Entrepreneur Accelerator program. This is where entrepreneurs
So,
come down
like
here to
me.
present, okay? And then after that itself, right, go on, we will invest in them.
It is
get
now
investors,
time
invest in them. Companies
for
like
another 2
Ecotrails, all
minutes.
these things, they come down here, they invest. After that, we expose them to VCs. Venkat is one of our VCs. So, before we go around the world, okay, we usually take care of the 0 to 100,000. After that itself, right,
Freezing.
so anything 100,000, no, right,
Chakra, chakra.
so we find ways to go 0 to 100,000. Okay, so our job down here in SCCI is to find angel. Okay, angel means anything 0 to 100.
Melanie did
Now,
face reading on me.
of course, before that, we will tell you the share structuring, all these things you need to look up for, your valuations, attractions, all these things first. Okay, so basically our Venkat one is backed by 5 million there. Then key industry partners. Singapore got 165 VCs, everyone wants your money. So for us, it's
Just
not
find a way
our
forward.
okay, want to
So I have this
and basically, we
constant
know
battle
which
between,
VCs
yes,
are the real
here I
ones.
am,
First,
and then,
you first or second, you will one.
Just
Okay, but
like
you
getting
have
a
already
choice
proven
somewhere.
record. So most of the VCs
Interesting
want you
one,
to pay a
actually.
fee of 2,000, 3,000, and then
Anyway,
their cost lah, membership lah, that
What
kind
we've
of
been
nonsense lah.
focusing on now
Okay.
is the boat
So,
shark.
most of the
I thought
entrepreneurs
what
come
we
down here,
could
they link you
do
to
to
angel
just,
investors, whereby they present
align
one
with that
one. So usually Friday session you come down here, you present. Clear? Good. Okay. Then we actually arrange a separate session with our angel. Okay, because the angel also don't want to meet up with nonsense lah. You're not ready. So that's why usually the presentation will be 2 hours presentation. Okay. So now, we have a lot of information in our website at scci.sg and scci.live.sg itself. All the reputable speakers, trainers, all these are inside there. Okay, not only that, if you want to watch the live videos of entrepreneur presenting, please go inside there. You can watch live, okay, and even some of the recorded one. Okay, all inside there. We got quite a number. Probably we are the only chamber that records so many things inside there. Now, not only that, we got Monday, Wednesday, and Friday networking sessions for you to come down, and Tuesday and Thursday is our classes. Okay, which we are changing the classes because once less people itself, we will change the classes to more. Now, Monday and Thursday, we got website creation class, okay? Last thing, okay, this is SCCI number. If you want to be updated on the SCCI event itself, send us one message. Next few months, we are having moving a very big step already to deal with all the merchants. So you are welcome to actually be, every day we send you 1 to 2 messages on our event, okay? So if you want to be added in, we'll just add you in, and then every day send you 1 message, 2 messages, and then you will get to be involved in all the events, quite a lot of events. Okay, sometimes we tell you got charge, sometimes we tell you it's free of charge. Okay, now please download the apps. Okay, the apps itself have a lot of things. You are welcome to post your business inside, just like Facebook. Okay, you can play around with it. So basically, you can actually a lot of people go into your website, okay, which you can actually put pixel down there. Okay, not only that, you can actually watch videos inside there. We are actually going to put in movies lah, IT courses, Chinese courses, plenty of them inside there. Okay, so our version now we hide it for a while because no submission. So basically, all these are ready for you. So very soon you can watch all these things free of charge already. Okay, not only that, okay, we also have a marketplace where you can buy and sell things. This one will be increased 3-fold to 4-fold because we have our people going down on the ground. And there's a chat function where you can connect with people. Okay, later I'll explain more. Okay, where you can form QR codes and chat just like WeChat. Okay, now within 3 weeks itself, we managed to have 1,000, no, more than 2,000 members inside that Singaporean real one. So no need to network. If you are scared of COVID itself, right, you can actually network online already. Okay, get to know people. Now, okay, right now the target audience, right, to be very honest, SCCI itself, let me actually share with you. If you want to grow your business, our audience is between 25 to 44 years old. Okay, we don't have the younger generation yet. Okay, don't know why. I actually calculated. So it's a sizable discretionary income. That means you see people got money. Why? At least 500 of them become my community member. They pay money. So that one, I must say, okay. And matured, okay, with purchasing power. So if you want to be with SCCI itself, right, okay, let us tell you what kind of audience we have down here. Not only that, individual that is seeking trustworthy advice to guide and educate them. We have a lot of people that is in need of people, sharing, learning. So as you can see, most of our members down here are 62% are male, okay, and 38% are female. Okay, so if you're looking for female, the chances down here is very little. Look at all of you down here, mainly male lah, not female. Okay, Sarah, that's why 你很珍贵. Okay, okay, so okay. Now, so there's a lot of visits. Okay, please come down for all our visits. Now, we have our, a lot of banks now, media companies is actually looking for us to actually advertise their things in our portal itself. So if we need our help, we have our media kit itself. Let us know how we can actually help you to advertise your business. Okay, but okay, we have live telecast every day. Every day we, every 2 days we hit easily 10,000 to 20,000 people. That means your business people can know 10,000, 20,000 people. No joke, okay, because it's already proven. Okay, that means Singaporeans can see, only Singaporeans. So that's why we only care about that. So if you want to know more about our event itself, it will be good. Now, next week we are having our recommended merchant. 推荐商家, okay, when you go to the shop itself, right, you will start to see our logo pasted everywhere. Right now, downstairs International Plaza, you will see this one, okay, but not you don't see this one. Next week onwards, we are having about, we are going to try to grow as many sales people as possible, about 10 plus. That's why I need a lot of people. Okay, everyone will be pasting our sticker everywhere. Okay, whereby if you are in the app, okay, people will be able to connect with you. So I strongly recommend you inside there, so all the merchants will go inside and get to know what you are actually providing. Okay, and you also can connect with them. Okay, so all these merchants itself will start to paste this sticker everywhere in Singapore. Okay, and 5,000 to paste within 2 weeks. Okay, so we are not like Foodpanda, only deliver food, but ours is a social networking app that can help your business. Now, not only that, plenty of activities. Please get to know us. Committee member, okay, committee member down here is free of charge. That means to say they
let's
are
energize
Monday and Friday entries.
Base Chakra
Okay,
a little
not only
bit
that,
for us,
okay,
little
committee
piece
member
of
got a lot of
presentation
value.
tonight.
Okay,
So I just want you to, you don't have to
committee
get
member
up, you can get up
for
if you want, but I just want you
and they
to
got free booth. Okay, before
walk
today
your
we got a lot of
feet on the ground.
If you need
What that's
people to
doing
attend
is
your
working your
seminar,
legs,
please
and
let
your
us
legs
know.
are
Let
actually
us
related to
discuss
your
with you.
base
See if
chakra.
we
So
can help you.
feel your
help
feet
you.
on the
Okay,
ground.
and a lot of members actually
Feel
use
that
our place down here.
movement.
Now, next door is our co-working space. If you need help,
So,
let us know as well.
we've talked
Okay?
about
Don't need to cover all these things. Summary,
Nice.
committee member, basically
Talked
lend
about the base chakra. Now we're going to talk about how this
right now,
relates
committee
to
member is
business.
278. Okay, referral is 3%.
So we're going to, in this little section, this last
20%. So
section,
if you're interested,
we're
okay,
going to talk
you
about
always
the
come down
emotional
here,
intelligence
you
around your
network,
business
network,
base
events,
chakra.
right, you want
We're going to talk about the physical signs that can show up, the
Okay.
business red
Now,
flags that can show up,
this is what-
and then we're going to do a little activity of
So
how you can
basically,
start
this
activating
is the
that base
first part.
chakra
Okay,
in
the second
your,
part will be a
business.
presentation
So
where
then
people
it's
come down here to
vital,
present.
energized,
Now,
and
the presentation comes in
right,
part
moving
one
in
is
the right
you
direction.
record down, show it to investors or even VCs. If you don't want us to record,
So,
please let us know. We don't record.
Yeah, I've been doing this for about 6
Now,
years now.
sometimes we might show
I finished my
live,
first training as a
show live, okay?
psychosomatic
So,
therapist 6 years ago.
in certain
I've been an
aspects, if you
entrepreneur
want
for
us
the
to
past
actually
4,
record and show
and
investors
in
stuff.
terms of in the online
Okay, but if
space.
yours is
And
good, then what
the
we do
3
is
things
we
that I
write
consistently
share
hear
this.
are people feeling lack of confidence,
Usually
they
come up
have
with
procrastination
so,
issues, and
Okay,
are
we'll
usually
take a break of 10
connected
minutes,
to
okay?
fear of
And
being seen.
I sincerely hope that please
And
download
also
the app.
cash flow
If you do not want to play
issues
around
in
with
their
the app
business
itself,
as well.
please ask any of my community.
So we're going to be talking
member,
about
please
this
go ahead.
in this last section here.
Today, don't know why got a lot of younger generation. Okay, quite a
So,
lot. Okay.
when
Oh, people-
What do we, when we talk about flow and blocked, because we
as you
hear that a
said,
lot
we
of
usually have a
times.
lot
Sorry,
of
hold on a
podcasts
second.
on the okay, and this is where we can find a lot of friends. Now all height is at home. Okay, so now we'll take a break. Okay, we'll start shortly in 10 minutes time. I'll see you shortly. Okay, thank you very much.
We hear a lot of the time people saying, are we in flow or are things being blocked? When we're in flow, when it comes to the chakra system, it means that your chakra energies are in alignment in terms of they're all sitting on top of one another, they're all activated at the right vibration, and they're all working together. When we say it's blocked, it means that, generally speaking, your base chakra is going to be shaky. And what that means is if your base chakra is shaky, everything above that is going to be shaky as well. So sometimes when you may feel like your throat chakra is out of whack because you can't speak your truth, you may actually need to go down to your base chakra first to really stabilize that, to allow you to then do the work for the chakras above that. So the base chakra is always the first place that I come to when it comes to moving through hurdles and those sorts of things. In your business, the emotions that will come up when your base chakra is feeling shaky are fear, anxiety, and overwhelm. So as soon as you start feeling any fear or any anxiety or any overwhelm, it's time to look at the base chakra of your business. Now, sometimes we don't even realize that's where we're operating from. So this is where the emotional intelligence comes into play, and it's really tuning into what's the emotion am I feeling right now and how am I sort of acting in the world. A lot of us are running on this flight or fight and fear-based energy a lot of the time, and that's where we're making our decisions from. And in my experience over the last many number of years, whenever I make a decision based on fear, it comes back to bite me tenfold. Like, it never works out. And so if you can start really tuning into that, am I making this decision from a place of fear rather than a place of calm and stability within myself and knowing that's the right thing, there's a huge difference in the energy of that and what will be a replication from that point. What you want to be feeling is energized, vital, and motivated. So you want to know what's happening. The base chakra loves organization. It's like the only chakra, I will say that, of all the chakra energies where it loves administration and organization. Actually, I'll get back to that in a minute. I'm going to skip forward. But it does. It really likes to know, it likes planning, it likes to know what's going to happen. We can't predict what's going to happen in the future all the time. In fact, nothing is for certain, but the more that you can feel certain that you've got the right number of clients coming in, or you've got the right income to pay your staff and all those sorts of things happening, the more vital your base chakra is going to be feeling. If we're hanging out in fear down here, or anger, or any of those sort of overwhelm, anxiety feelings, we're going to actually be playing in a space of suffering and getting by. When we're in a state of flow, this is where we're feeling that love, we're feeling that joy, we're feeling excited, we're really connected to what it is that we're doing. So I always found this graph to be really helpful when I started doing this work, and it does come from David Hawkins, who's written the book Power versus Force. I highly recommend reading that. Where he talks about, the different vibrations that our emotions have and the state of being that actually keeps us in. So, if we're feeling fear, we're going to be suffering, basically. And, we don't want to be suffering. We want to be feeling like we're in this state of flow. So emotional intelligence for me through the chakra system is understanding all those specific emotions that you're feeling, and then knowing where it is on this chart to help you know how to shift it to the polar opposite emotion. So for the base chakra, it's about, did you actually know this too, that the body physiologically doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. So you can be feeling fear and the body will feel a particular way, and you can be feeling excitement and the body will feel that exact same thing. So from a mental point of view, and I've done this a few times now that I've learned this, if you're feeling fear, shift it to excitement. It might be fear of, I don't know what's going to happen right now. But it could be like, I don't know what's going to happen right now. What's that new opportunity that could happen if I have that conversation that I think is difficult, but something might actually good come from that. So swapping your perception of fear to excitement can be a really good tool, especially as an entrepreneur and in business. Because you're going to have to be stepping out of your comfort zone quite often, to make a difference and to make progress. Okay, so the physical signs. The body, the mind, the emotions are all related. Physical signs of the base chakra, lower back pain, grinding your teeth, anything happening around your jaw, your legs, your calves, your feet, and anything happening around your kidneys and adrenals. As soon as I already know I am cold, but I'm like, I can feel like, actually I think it is more because it's cold, but if I know I'm sleeping and I've started grinding my teeth in my sleep because I'm worrying about something, it's like my base chakra is out. As soon as I get lower back pain, it's always about money and it's never about my back. Because as soon as the money problem disappears, guess what? The back problem disappears. So just start watching this for yourself. Like, pay attention to your body. It's bringing your attention to something. Once you start shifting the emotional aspect, plus making the decisions that are going to help with that, and then see what plays out physically from that space as well. Each chakra energy has a different place in the body. So the base chakra, though, is around your legs, because your legs take you from A to B. It's the thing that actually gets you moving. It's also your feet and your jaw area up here. The red flags in your business, that means your base chakra is out. Cash flow, ideal customer, and goals and planning. So if you're feeling fear, anxiety, or overwhelm, or your back's hurting, or something's going on with your knees, or you're grinding your teeth, have a look at how you're feeling about your cash flow, how you're feeling about who you actually know your ideal customer is, and do you have a good set of goals and plans? Because usually there's something going on in here that's causing that symptom or effect to happen. So then you know where to come and take the action instead of just feeling overwhelmed and going, I don't know where to start. This is where you actually start. There is another little section too. If you become more of a company, your team will also fall under this as well. So have you got the right team supporting you for what it is that you need to do next in your business as well? I've tried and tested this so many times and it works. It just works. And it may be even you might have it all sorted, but you just needed to revisit it to feel that sense of stability within yourself to know this is the next step that I need to take. You've just forgotten some of the detail that you already had worked out. Yeah, so once you do that, then you'll be getting more of a flow state rather than a block state. This little diagram here, a lot of the time I find in business, people jump to promotion and communication before they've actually looked at the first 3 chakras of their business, being the base chakra, which is all about your foundations and support, your sacral chakra, which is around branding and creativity, and your solar plexus, which is your product and your service. So for me, for you to really be in a good state to start promoting and communicating about your business, you need to have strong foundations, a clear brand, and also very clear products and service. At the beginning, that can be difficult, and that's what makes it difficult as a startup, because you're testing and trialing and you're trying to work it out, and it's all very messy. But as you keep doing the process and coming back to it and revisiting it, it gets stronger and stronger, and then that's where it really starts to grow.
Okay, okay. Now today we got Janet, you will present.
Right. So now that you know this,
okay. Now, the first speaker we have is Sarah.
Because I really think the base chakra is where it all is at. You know, particularly in business, like you can't come in at any other level. Like your base chakra needs to be solid for the rest of it to really flow. So I'm going to just take you through it very quick, because I know we're getting close to I'm just going to take you through a very quick activity that you can do to see if you're in the fight or flight mode, or if you're working from a really good, energized, and vital chakra energy, base chakra energy.
Which is quite good one. Can help your business one.
Have you guys read this book?
Yes.
Okay, great. I love it. Read it. Come again.
So when they come back,
so we're going to focus on goals and planning for this little activity. In the book, it talks about this quadrant of putting in your to-do list and where you're taking your action from, so how to prioritize what it is that you have to do. And a lot of the time, what you'll have will either go into important and urgent, or important or not urgent, and if anything's in these bottom 2 quadrants, you don't worry about
you choose to turn out.
What I want you to do now is I want you to think about what you've got going on at the moment in your business,
so this is like the second time
what
I'm here
feels
to
important and urgent, and what feels important and not urgent.
I
And if you've got a pen and
hope
paper,
that
just
through the
write that
presentation
down.
acknowledge
But if you don't, like just think in your head,
and so that
is there one of these quadrants that's more than the other?
Perhaps yourself, if you after this presentation you are interested, please come forward and ask me any question you have. So to begin with, I'm a professional mental health counselor. I've worked in Institute of Mental Health for 10 years, and I chose to leave IMH and start out on my own since end 2018. And that's one of the reasons, because I see there's a need that is unmet through the public sector. So I believe that through the private organization we would be better able to do
That's great.
So there has been online counseling.
That's not always true for everybody. I know I've definitely played in this important and urgent
in the US,
quadrant
however,
before in my
none of
life
it
as
is
well.
Asia. So during the time in 2016, I have already this idea.
So just thinking about what in your business right now feels important and urgent.
So finally,
and
after 1 year of working on this business
give you
idea,
another
I
two.
launched January this year. And the value propositions is that this is a matching platform to match the qualified mental health professionals,
So,
counselors, psychologists,
if you have
psychotherapists,
your
so very
items important
focused
and not
to meet
urgent,
the needs, the
it
mental
means that
health
you have
needs
a really
of,
nice base chakra
Asian society
energy to
all
your
over the
business.
world.
It means you're planning ahead.
Currently,
It
I
means
have,
you're forward thinking. It
counselors,
means you're planting seeds,
psychologists
knowing that
in
there's
Singapore,
patience and time that
Malaysia,
needs to take
in
place
Hong Kong, and UK.
for everything to
In
grow.
total, right now, I have 15. So
If you've
it's
got more
still
things in the
relatively
important
very
and
small
urgent
group
quadrant,
compared to some
it
of
means
the
you're
platforms
operating
that
from a
better
fight or
help.
flight energy. It
However,
means that
if
you're
have been
in this
tracking,
like
their growth is
urgency, I've got to
exponential.
get things going.
Within
It
3
means
years,
that you
they
may
will
be
have
making
100
decisions in your
by,
business that aren't going to serve you in the
at
long
4
run,
million
that are made from fear, that will come back and bite you in the
So
butt,
though I'm
basically.
starting small, I really see that there's a huge
It's coming
potential
from the
in
wrong
this market.
place. And
let me
so
tell you
as
more
soon
about
as you
it.
can become aware of which one it's swinging to, you can pay attention to the things that possibly are more important but not feeling urgent, because you know in the long
so
term
just
that's going
briefly,
to
this
pay
is my
off
progress.
rather than the short
The
term.
website is
A lot of startups can find that they
you can go
fall
to the
into that
website right now
short-term
if you want
fix
to go into the mobile
initially,
phone, check it
and
out.
of course
I
we need
have
some
an
short-term
online
things
blog
that need to happen,
where I
but
put in
making sure that you're paying as
relevant
much
articles
attention
on
to the
mental health.
long-term
So
foundations
you
that
can
you
look
need
out,
to
and I
learn
have
as
some
well is
public
really, really
events also.
important. And when you get to the point where it is just important and not urgent, that's really where you want to be.
And I've been
So
a
this
sponsor,
is a really good
community
practical
sponsor of this Singapore Mental Health
example
Film
of
Festival.
how you can just
Happened,
see what
last year.
energy you're
I
coming from
worked with
in your
Narelle
business,
King
because it is really
to
important that
do
it is a
her
nice,
music
calm,
video,
solid
and she's very
firm
open to talk about
foundation,
mental health issues.
energy
So she's
rather
seeing
than the
me for
flighty
psychotherapy.
all over the place.
She's
kind
totally
of
fine. In
scattered
fact, she
energy.
wants to. Actually, this
Any
music
questions
video
around
shows
this?
me working with her.
I see a lot of nodding heads, which is good. It's very good. Lisa, I might just leave this. Can I do the next bit and maybe we can finish off videos?
Okay, what is the market? Globally, there is 20% lifetime prevalence of mental illness.
Melanie's already talked
30%
about
of the
things you can do to
322
shop.
million people who are
In terms
diagnosed
of
with depression
energising it,
actually comes from Southeast Asia, including China and India.
But I was at a silent
And if we look
meditation
at
yoga retreat
the
the
rise
last 4
of
days
the
before I came to Singapore.
telemental
And one of the
applications
instructors
and
showed
the
us a great
acquisitions
yoga
is
pose
growing
to do
exponential,
yoga.
as you can see from
That
this
is
graph
brilliant.
here.
Yeah, that's brilliant for energizing your base chakra. So I thought I'd
And
just
the
quickly
recent
share
one
that right
called
now.
Talkspace,
We're
also
gonna do a lot of
based in
stuff on the
US.
weekend where we go to all
They
of
are
this in a lot more
acquired.
detail.
They just
So
raised
I just thought if you can see me,
57 million.
I'm just going to show you quickly.
Only after a few days.
Quite new to this.
You can stand on YouTube. It's very
So the problem rate, okay, is cost, access, and quality.
So you know when you first start,
And of course, you can see the stats here. 14% of Singaporeans has mood disorder, alcohol use, depressions. So I won't go into that. Let me share with you about the solution. So the solution is for both the service providers as well as consumers. So consumers wise, we have you really want a platform where it's very neutral, where people is able to find out information about the therapist. However, there's no such platform available as of now. Even if you go to BetterHelp, Talkspace, they conceal the information of the therapist. So my idea here is to provide a very neutral platform where you can get most amount of information before you make a decision about seeing the therapist. So it's a mix of directory, marketplace, as well as directory, marketplace, as well as to publicize the information that is necessary.
Yeah, because mostly people do this switch their neck and they switch their
And for therapists wise, we also want to nurture therapists. Like if they go through supervisions by finding one of the supervisors in their platform, there is a recorded number of supervision, the number of counseling hours they have seen, and this also provides an avenue for new counselors. So there is a supply of counselors. However, there's not enough jobs in the market from the
Alright,
public
so now we're
sector.
into the finale. I had a special face split image that I want to share with you, and this is really important actually, which is also can be a red flag about how your energy is flowing and whether you're operating from the urban brain, which is the shutdown, non-emotional state of being, or you're running from your human brain, which is the in-touch and emotional intelligent self. Okay, so this is a face split photo, and we'll be doing these on the weekend as well.
So I just go
This is
right
me back
into
in
the financial
2012
part.
when I did my first psychosomatic therapy training. The middle photo is the
projected growth
original,
of 25%
and what we do is we
year-to-year.
actually split
And
the
if I
photo
look
down
at,
the middle,
having
and then we
100
take the right hand
new
side and
clients per
flip it to
month,
make a whole right face. and
actually,
then take the left to make a
average
whole
rate of
left face.
$120 per
And what this
session, and
is,
every client
the whole
will
right hand side of your
benefit.
body is your
So as you
masculine
can see,
energy,
the
and the whole
lifetime
left hand
value
side of your
of
body is your
client is
feminine
really
energy,
high.
which is a bit like yin and yang, what we were talking about before.
Actually, in one
And
and a
this
quarter
is a
year,
really, this was
there
the
will be
thing that
break-even
woke me up to
investment.
what was going on in my life and how much I
Why
was
do I
had lost
why am I
touch with
confident
what
of
who I was
myself?
and what I
Because
was that I was
have
here to
worked
do.
as a
So,
private practitioner
for
since
those of you
2018.
that
I have been
aren't
seeing
familiar,
her regularly
we all
since
have
I started
feminine and
my
masculine
practice.
energy
So I know
inside
that
of
this
us.
is workable. What
The
is
masculine traits are
platform
logic, taking action,
available
structure, and
people
giving.
know,
We need those.
and
We have
it has
to.
to be unbiased. It has to be
The feminine
transparent.
aspects of ourselves is
And,
creativity, emotions,
Actually,
flexibility,
it's
and
going to be
receiving.
more than a
We
platform.
need those as well.
It's going to
But a
be
lot of the time, there's an
training ground
imbalance that's actually
where
happening
in the
there.
future there
And
will
the
be
face
of
split
video
actually
trainings.
shows you what
Video
that
trainings
balance
for
is and
therapists,
how
video
balanced it
trainings
is or
for
how
public
imbalanced
as well
it
on
is.
mental health. So,
So-
we are looking at public education.
This, I've cut out
Oh,
my original
when I talk
photo.
about mental health,
And this
right,
is my feminine
I
and my
hope all of
masculine.
you
So I want you
may
to
feel-
share with me.
I wonder whether all of
I
you
always
will
look
be
at
serious
the
about this topic.
feminine and masculine
But I
energy
just
inside
want
of
to let you
ourselves
know
as a
that all of
relationship.
us have mental
So-
health needs. Okay, it's not just people who are stressed or who cannot cope in life that they have mental health needs. All of us have that needs, right? So when Mr. Zhou talk about dating,
So I want you to do that right
then
now, and I want you to
this
share
is
with
actually
me
a
what do you
provision
feel like
for,
the
you know, for mental health.
relationship dynamic
By
is
meeting with people
between
like
these
talking.
two people
But
if
if
they
you
were
see
to
a
walk into a
professional
room.
counselor, perhaps they are more attuned to what's going on
Happy?
within you because they are trained to attend to the inner working of individuals.
Devin doesn't seem happy.
Yeah, everyone doesn't seem very happy. And you look much younger now.
Yeah. Thank you. I've been doing the work.
The first year, don't expect to.
Yeah, so for me, this was huge.
Right? So
I actually look like my feminine side looks like my grandma. When I saw this, I was like, whoa,
So I
that
project
really
is going
looks
to be
like
about
my grandma.
200K.
And then my masculine
One year
energy
of
looks like this
this
young
business
boy.
going and really
You know,
expanding
and
this
so
business
when I look at
exponentially.
the relationship dynamic
Go
between them,
global.
I'm like, how does that even work?
Including,
Like they're not talking to one another.
therapists from all over the
It's
world.
like they're separate people. They're like they're living separate lives. The masculine face is just like, yep, let's go get him, let's go do this, and it's like dragging the feminine energy along, and the feminine's just like, I'm shut down. I'm not enjoying myself. You know, this is not.
Alright, so besides raising
So,
fund, I'm also looking
when I
at
saw this, I
people
realized
who
I
is
needed to
interested
make
in
some
this
changes
business
in my
on mental
life.
health
Like
to
I
join
needed to
me.
look at,
I will need
you know,
people
what was
who
really
are,
lighting me up. How was I
who has
really
expertise
feeling?
that I
I
don't,
was,
such
you know,
as
getting more in
finance,
touch with my
business
body
development,
and listening to my
now
body as
looking
well.
at one person, so
And
my
that's
CTO.
what I've been working
So,
on for the last
but
6
if
years.
you are also
So I did a face reading workshop
technical aspect,
earlier this year
I
in
also
Bali,
like to speak to you. Okay?
and I took
So
another face split.
That's about all my
six years later.
presentation. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your attention.
So this is me. So this was 2012, and this is now 2019. And you can see the difference. Because what you really want to get is a similar face along all three, because then you know there's a good balance going
So
on.
what you're
The
building
masculine's
is
coming out to play, the feminine's coming out to play, and they're working together.
okay. So she's building.
If you look at the
website,
feminine
right?
energy in
Okay.
particular,
What
how
kind
much
of
that has
customers are you
changed
looking
over that period of time, she's not
Yeah,
really
you wanna-
looking like an old grandma anymore, is she? You know, she's taken notice
So
and made
basically,
changes to
she
do
is
that.
looking for
So, you know, I'm a very
customers
driven
that need-
person, I'm an entrepreneur, I love to get things done, but I've really had to do the work to stay in tune with who I am,
Okay,
and
so
bring my
let me
creativity
clarify.
out to
Mental
play,
illness means
learn what my
it doesn't
zone of
mean that you
genius
don't have
is,
a
and really learn to
sense
work
or
with
clarity
that.
of
And that's how
reality.
everything is
Okay.
now
So
transpiring. And
every one of
yes,
us,
I put in
if
the
we were to
energy,
see
I
a
put in the hard
psychiatrist,
work, but
most
I'm
likely will
enjoying
go
every
away with
piece
a
of that.
diagnosis.
And that's really
Because
where
there
the
are that
abundance
many
comes
number
into
of
play.
diagnoses available.
So if you
but,
are
having
feeling
counseling
like
can
you're
be
on
quite
par,
normal,
you're
but to have
on
counseling
purpose,
is like
but you're still hitting your head up
avenue
against a brick wall, or that you're not on purpose, but you don't know what else to do, doing this work, doing the psychosomatic work and learning about yourself can help you
I haven't
to
really
realise
launched the website.
and to ask some good questions and to see what direction you should
It's
take.
very important because most of us, right?
Ultimately, how you feel on the inside is going to be reflected by the outside, and then that's going to have a ripple effect out into the world.
So the usual thing
So,
to do is that, right, we must have
That was
something
the
that is
finale
able
piece
to
that I
bring the
wanted to show you.
customers.
That
So
it's
maybe
really,
say
it really was
10%
the,
of our product
it was like
are
the
basically
wake
cheap
up moment
products,
I
so
needed.
people will
So
come
you
in.
have an app.
So the other 20%, right, medium range, then 30%, right, maybe.
I don't have an app. There is apps
So,
online that
you
you
need
can
to
use to
actually
do
price it,
it.
and then
If you
after
do
that,
it, make sure
compare
that
those
you just
products
take a
itself,
very
that
straight
actually break it out.
face, because
So,
otherwise
reason
you
why I
get
asked her
some
is because, right,
big face.
nobody
What's going on?
on
On Saturday, I'll be running a face reading workshop where we'll take the photo and we'll actually be splitting it so you can see it, and then we'll be doing
to
the
attract the
analysis
people
part
to
of that
come
too.
in, right? Okay,
Um,
into her business
So
itself.
yeah,
Hey,
and I also
goes
do it
into
when
a
I do the
website, right,
private
for
face
services.
readings. We don't take the photo, but I can get it.
So this is the website. Okay.
Okay, again, this is not for people who are mentally ill, it's for everybody. Okay, anyone who wants to improve your ability to cope, who wants to really enhance your functionality, okay, who wants to become a better speaker,
That one is
who wants to
totally
be
different.
not having headache when you're in front of people. So practically anybody can benefit from psychotherapy, from counseling.
The therapy platform.
Yes, so it's called the therapy platform for easy to remember. Website is thetherapy.co, and I have a blog.
Bettermood.sg.
Yeah, bettermood.sg is the therapy platform blog. Yeah, I just actually did up a article on COVID-19 at time testing of psychological resilience. Welcome to visit and comment and share. And please visit my website. Let me talk to you.
Very good. Okay, what you can do is, right, you can actually put stress counseling. If you are very stressed over it,
I have that already. So
oh, yeah.
we have like free 30 minutes consultation with all our counselors. Just visit the website. There will be a link for you to sign up for the free 30-minute session. Yeah. Tell
Create your very
everybody.
own websites at the comfort of your home. Want to help your customers to create their websites and earn a revenue from it? Now you can easily learn how to create your own websites at the comfort of your home through our online tutorial itself. Do click onto the link right now and get into actions and start to create your very own first website. Thank you.
To bring in the customer, which is quite relevant. And the
Want to learn how to conduct a Facebook campaign? We'll be teaching you on the 10 marketing objectives on the campaign itself. Not only that, you also get to learn about the remarketing strategies in terms of how you can actually remarket potential customers and how they attract new customers into your website. Now, during the class itself, we will be sharing with you on how to create mobile applications, instant and customizations. We will also be sharing with you on what to sell in the e-commerce stores, what not to sell in the e-commerce stores and marketplace. Not only that, you want to know about payment gateway, we'll be sharing with you on Stripe, Braintree, what are the payment gateway you should look out for, and what are the potential pitfalls that you should look out for. Click onto the below links and get to learn more about it right now. We'll see you shortly. Thank you.
That's what I want to do. So anybody who wants to join force, please come
I
forward.
represent the first and the only upper cervical center in Singapore. I started this company earlier this year because I realized there was a bit of a missing part of the market here. This is a training that I've done further in the past, going to Australia, going to America, and doing further training and outreach programs in Manila, Philippines, so that I could have extra training to do this specific type of technique. How this differs compared to other chiropractors is instead of focusing just on the whole of the spine, really focus more specifically on what happens at the very top part of the neck, especially in the top two bones called C1. So when we start to precisely, that's where we have changes in people's health. We can also charge more for this, and it does take a bit more time for our normal.
I always thought 100% one, you know. Underreported lah, underreported. It's 100% lah. You see, you must treat it as 100%. Okay. then the only thing is because it's underreported, so your job is to actually make it surface out. Okay. So usually it's underreported. So if you know that, then you treat 100% right. Your job is to
Australia.
Then when you can bring it up, you win it.
Actually, very
Okay, so make it 100%, not 50%.
Postgraduate training beyond the.
Yeah. Then after that, the next thing is of course the website is.
So the way I got this.
This website is like a company website.
Can improve definitely.
How about us therapists frequently asked questions? So I go into here, I see this website is about therapists. That means to say I can look for the therapists, correct? Okay, this is about therapists. But have you ever thought that, right? Okay, when I go in itself, right? Okay, maybe if I am very desperate, okay, I will go in and search for a therapist. But if I'm not desperate, okay, I might not go in, correct? Okay, because to me it's a company web page itself, right? Okay, so then you think, what is the other thing that can bring people into this website? The luring part of the customer. Very important, right? You need to lure customers, but correct? Customers go in, see this, will they actually stay inside the website? This is a page where you close your sales. Makes sense, right? This is the page where you close your sales. But before you manage to close your sales, where will your customers
as well?
Think about it. Makes sense, right? So closing site ready. But what bring them here? If you send me a WhatsApp, okay, and put down there therapies, all these things, I go into it. Yeah, you ask me to, look for all the profile for me for what? No. But if there is a blog page or something that I'm interested in, that I can actually do research, then it will then lead me to this page are totally different. Okay, so she might want to think that the closing site, this is the closing site, right? There might be a lot of other sites that can link to this closing site to bring in the business. So this is the channel to make money. This one is the channel to finally close it. This one is to lure the customer in. So think about the luring part. Yeah, the luring part is not just on the technology part, but also on the activity part.
First person to bring.
So think about it. Okay. So it's very important. Like for me, down here got speed dating. Correct? Down here got Monday event, Tuesday event, Wednesday event. Correct? End up where? To one corner. Then this one must show that you got so much value, then people will want it. Okay, so people not stupid one. If you are thinking of making money down here, which you are thinking, right? Everyone, you want to make money, not so easy one. But you need to create so many things down here to create the value down here, then people will want it. And out of this, right, the conversion is very low one. Think of it. Okay, unless, okay, so your job is to create the value so that your conversion can be higher. So think about it. Question? Anything for her? Advise her? Okay, and then after that, once your conversion, your channel is in already, right? The closing is in, then we know how much money you make. Then the investors, because you can make money, right? Okay, this is where we know the value of your company, roughly okay, and then they will want to put in money. That is the time you need to talk to me already, because why? You then need to make sure that, right? Okay, your dilution of share, right? Okay, don't dilute too much. Okay, 51% and 52%, there's a big difference. A, B share, there's a big difference. Okay, not only that itself, right? Okay, what is your future share structuring is also very important. Okay, if you got a business partner, you got too many business partners, you also face a problem. Okay, so this is share structuring part, which every day I post it in the chat online. You have to go and watch. Okay, because every day I'm learning. So if you really watch my chat online moment, right, you know the share structuring part of it. Okay, yeah, all the chat moment part, okay, because I post all the way, on chat online, my app. Okay, so all the share structuring, how you structure your share, whether it's 51%, whether it's 52%, that have impact on your future business itself, right? Okay, and what kind of people you should look for at your stage, right? Okay, you can go to the moment there and learn. Okay, and look at all the past posts, especially on the SCCI posts. Okay, okay, yeah. So, question for her? Anyone? Okay, so basically what you're looking for?
Investors.
Okay, so you're looking for investors, and she's trying to raise 200,000, right?
200K.
Okay, so she's trying to raise 200K, right? Okay. What's the valuation?
As a startup, don't have valuation.
Okay, her valuation is 0. Okay, is it? Okay, now never mind. Okay, see, she don't know valuation. Okay, my question then is, okay, since your valuation you don't know, okay, if I give you 200K itself, right? How much share you're willing to give me?
I would value my as 2 million actually.
Okay, let's say 2 million. Okay. Now, if I give you 200,000, how much share you going to give me?
10%.
So, okay, now the figure is out already. You all realize something? Okay, so basically she is raising 10. She wants to dilute 10% of the share. Correct? Okay, for 200,000. Correct? Then what is the minimum investments that you're looking at? That means to say, are you looking at one person throw in 200,000, or you are okay with one person throw in 20,000 that get 1%, something like that?
Yes.
Right. So that is a minimum investment, correct?
A smaller one also, but
Okay.
won't get equity.
Okay, so you see how small. Okay, how small is the question? So you see, with this exercise, right, when you tell people, okay, my valuation is 2 million, which I believe. Why 2 million? Because I got this, you know, and my numbers is growing because I got this valuation. Then what you should do is you should then compare it with another company. Look at Carousel. Look at Dr. Anywhere. Dr. Anywhere now the valuation is estimated to be like that, right? You see, I'm only a new company, okay? They are 10 million, mine is only 2 million. You see the big difference? So people say, hey, your company got potential, and you are hardworking, right? So then, okay, when you talk about valuation, you are supposed to convince the people. Okay, so that is why you use another big company to prepare the people first. So usually we tell them, you see, this company, big, mine only 2 million. Then people know this is the valuation. Then tell them, this one, how much you're raising. So down here you give people hope. Make sense, right? Because why? You invest in me, next time, the company become 20 mil, your $10,000 become 100,000, so people invest into you is for what? Is to make money. Understand? So your job is to make sure that, okay, you make sure this one is convincing. Okay? Money. Make money can already. Then see whether people how many. Now if you do a few times, still your valuation nobody invests into you, right? You know what you should do? You should improve on this part and this part. So then you realize that your money start to make already. Then you can grow accordingly. Okay, this is business very simple. Okay, then during the intermediate itself got some asshole, sure got asshole one, will tell you, I give you 200,000. Okay, when you are down here okay already, right? They sure approach you. Down here, I give you 50K lah. Then you desperate, right? I want 50% share can. Then you better be careful already. The money is the first sum of money, then they want to take a chunk of it. Then you need to understand what after your share structuring, what will happen to you, whether 50% will sure kill you, whether you know how you want to structure, whether is it for employee next time. Okay, there's few ways. One is you want control of the company, or you want to also give your employee share. What kind of share you should give your employee? That kind of thing you better go and learn through the app itself. No choice, I cannot teach you all down here. So okay, so today only tell you all this part. Question? Okay, thanks. Okay, so please, come.
Someone can invest, but then I need to break down of how we derive 2 million.
That one can. Correct. She will need to justify 2 million until everyone happy lah. And then you must compare lah, make sure that 2 million, because you cannot say you are only one person with a website is worth 2 million. People will laugh at you. Really. Okay, because I got, you see, how many traffic? I got 2,000 people visiting my website. Okay, I believe that right, these 2,000 eventually I make $1 from each of them, right? Okay, every month I got $2,000. Wow, very powerful. Now the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman is a big difference, because an entrepreneur, right, our fixed cost is always one line one. That means to say, okay, fixed. Okay, our cost won't go up one. Every business that go up, right, every customers that go up, we make money. Understand? So if you are starting from here itself, you don't make money, but one day you make money, right, it keep going up, but your cost will always remain one. Understand? Okay, whereas a businessman, right, what they do? They start their business, they grow the business down here. Then after that, they open another one, they open up. So if one business die, all die. Got COVID-19, all die one. Understand? But our cost is always fixed. So that's why we scale our business in that way. Look at it in this way, Today can teach a bit. Okay, any question?
How do people know your website?
Ah.
That is the main thing.
That's why she attend my Facebook class, ma.
These are the things I do. I do also a lot of things. But the thing is, how do people know your
spending money in trying, developing your product first. Slowly take your time. Until very good, very confident, got people like
what we are building, it's called Porta.
And usually this
previously we called it UAE Export, which was difficult to pronounce. Platform connected agri-entrepreneurs in food-producing countries with affluent buyers in developed markets. Basically, we help small guys in these markets around Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia. So we help them to launch brands, and we launched in the US market, the first market.
Who knows, right?
So right now, as you know, the world is not really fair because you have these very, say, poor guys who earn less than $1 per day. And on the other hand, you have big corporations that control most of the food they eat. Food is not always healthy, right? Companies are big, they have access to capital, but they get not really much in research and development. So the discrepancy is really big. On the other hand, you have a huge market of agri-food, which is about 9 trillion. It's the oldest market of global trade, international trade. But it's changing right now. One of the biggest changers is Amazon, of course. If you look at their numbers in terms of categories here, sorry for font is very little, but the food and beverage takes 40%, the biggest growth, since they have bought Whole Foods and they are moving forward because food is something we need every day, right? So we came with a mission to help small guys in emerging markets to launch international brands and to get them what they actually deserve. Not forgetting about consumers, because we want consumers to live long and healthier lives, and that's why we focus specifically on the products that appeal to the healthier trends, needs in the US, which is the biggest still market for the consumers to start. The landscape of companies is pretty big. We want to be in the center, but our difference is we want to specialize on the small and medium enterprises because they really need help, right? And help them to launch internationally. So, as you see, we connect these food commodity markets, these high purchase markets. We focus on data analytics. We help with design creativity. We help with food certification. We do it already. We outsource processing. If you have Mango or Apple, you can find where you can do a private label locally. If you develop marketing, packaging, everything with the US, you have a team, but you do it also locally. And then you can launch it. 95% of the industry still operates in a traditional way. So people build factories, they think of company-centered strategy, building factories first and then trying to get on the shelf locally, traditional way. It takes many years, it's really painful, low margins, especially in the foods. So what we do, we focus what consumer needs in the biggest market. If you take an Apple Mango, might be that, for example, apple chips or apple puree, right? Some products that have much higher margin. If you take the lowest cost and build the product that the consumer in the best market can pay, the margin is really high. So we launch and we focus. We started in Amazon and then focus on building direct-to-consumer brands, where actually we reach to the consumer directly who can pay the most. It actually, I should mention, it takes less than a year to launch a brand, so probably about 6-7 months. So how to finance this? We came with just different forms of finance and launch of the brands, and most often producers that don't have money to start. So to start a brand, minimum you need $15,000. That's having the product finished in a very nice package in the US with 2 pallets, right? It's still a lot of money for the producer in Thailand or Vietnam. So we said, okay, we might invite investor who take 20% in the brand, and also we give entrepreneur in Thailand the opportunity to participate in the equity in each of the brands we build. Porta will still have control in the brands. Porta will still have control, and we do all the work from A to Z, building everything. We did it already, and we're looking to automate this process. So we have a very international team, although we are a startup, but there are many people that think same way. They share our mission. We have people from who worked for Walmart, who right now in Stanford, who worked in the Tetra Pak. We have some people from South Asia. Sakin is my partner here. We have a CTO who is German. And we have some more members. Right now we launched a few brands already. We have some other companies in pipeline from South Asia, besides the consulting business, but we are going into launching the product and automating the process. So we are right now looking to raise some money. We are at the first stage right now, still building cases, launching products and brands internationally in the US. Right now we're raising 500K. Here in Singapore we are building a holding company, which will be the center. The other companies we have already in the US, Ukraine, we'll have a company in Vietnam. Next we are going to Vietnam trade show. We raised money from Singaporean investor before coming here. We already have Entrepreneur Plus, so which is big plus, and we've been also accepted to Antler, which is a accelerator program. So right now we're in the program in Antler, and we're looking to raise 500 from investors who can help also not only money, but somebody who works in supply chain, agri-food processing, or e-commerce, international trade. Thank you very much.
We welcome all questions. Anyone got any questions?
Before questions, I'd like to add that hi, my name is Sakin. I'm actually Taiwanese, grew up in Japan, so in the US. But the thing I want to add is that we're not only just looking for capital, we're also looking for strategic partnerships. We really want to work with people that can help us kind of expand our market in Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, who actually knows maybe these producers, agri-food producers, or maybe manufacturers. Those are the type of people we really want to help. So if anyone has those kind of resources or contacts, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michele Ferrario. I'm the co-founder and CEO of StashAway. Thank you to all the members of the Singapore Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as today we have the opportunity to give you an inside look of on StashAway and tell you what StashAway is and how it can help you as members as well as the employees of all the members organizations. So StashAway is a digital wealth management platform. We help people invest their money with a long-term outlook. We don't promise doubling your money in a week or a month. What we promise is that if you use a systematic investment scheme and you use StashAway as the platform to do so, when you will retire, when you are going to reach your main goals in life, you're going to be able to afford those goals. You're going to be able to retire on your own terms with the type of lifestyle you've been dreaming of. It's a platform that is available both on a mobile phone as well as on a desktop application. You can see here is a screenshot of our mobile application. It takes around 15 minutes, 1.5, to open an account and start investing. And because there is no minimum or no maximum, it's very flexible. You can decide how much to invest, when to invest, how frequently to invest. Now, today I'll go through some of the main features that you may want to hear about as you look into StashAway. So first of all, we are licensed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. We have a capital market services license for retail fund management. You can go actually to the MAS website, and this is a screenshot of what the MAS website will say about us. As part of the MAS regulation, we need to keep all of the money from our customers in a custodian structure, which in practice means that the money is not commingled with our own funds, it's completely separated. So anything that happens to StashAway doesn't affect the money that is being invested by our customers. In particular, we work with Saxo as our broker, and with Citi and HSBC as the two custodians that keep cash and securities. StashAway was founded by 3 people. One of them is me. I have a bit more than 15 years of experience, spent half of my career in and around financial services, working first at McKinsey, a global consulting company advising banks, and then at a certain point in my career switching and moving into building consumer internet companies. My latest role, I was the group CEO of a company called Zalora, an e-commerce company based here in Singapore. My 2 co-founders, Freddie and Nino, bring to the table very deep expertise in 2 different areas. So Freddie is our Chief Investment Officer. He spent close to 20 years investing billions and billions of dollars of money on behalf of institutional investors. His latest role, he was a managing director at Nomura, where he was the global head of derivative strategy at the Japanese bank, and before that he was a portfolio manager. He's been he's a very respected figure in the industry, and we build technology to make sure that we bring the sophistication of institutional investors down to anybody with a very easy to use platform. And Nino, who's the CTO, is in charge of technology. He's a computer scientist by training, spent all of his life building tech companies. He's originally from Germany, but he's been building companies in Russia, in the US, and now in Singapore. We are backed by a number of investors. Our 2 lead investors are Eight Roads, which is a venture capital arm of Fidelity, one of the largest asset managers in the world, and Asia Capital and Advisors, which is a local Singapore-based private equity firm that invests in financial services. 2 very senior leaders from those 2 organizations actually sit on our board of directors. Raj Dugar, on behalf of Eight Roads, he's the managing partner of Eight Roads and sits on StashAway's board of directors, as well as Francis Rosario, who's the founder and CEO of Asia Capital and Advisors, sits on our board. And Francis, for instance, spent 28 years at Citibank, where he was the CEO in a number of different countries, and then was the CEO of Fullerton Financial Holding as part of the Temasek Group. So he has more than 35, 40 years of experience in building and managing financial institutions. We have also built a world-class advisory committee. There is 5 people that are members of this committee. You can see the names here. I'm not going to go through each of them, but with a couple of examples, Ui Hoon, she's the former CEO of Morgan Stanley Private Banking in Singapore, and Pranay used to be the head of multi-asset strategies at Fullerton, part of the Temasek Group again. So, what we have been doing since we started in three years ago is trying to tackle 3 issues. How to make investing intelligent, how to make it easy and convenient, and how to make it cost efficient. So let me start from the third. So unfortunately, when you go to and talk to traditional financial advisors and banks, oftentimes you're going to be proposed products with certain fees and other fees you actually never see or that's difficult to find. Let's call them hidden fees. So one of our key principles is being transparent and make sure there's no hidden fees. So there is no hidden fees. And why is that important? Look, it's very important because fees in investing actually have a humongous effect on the total amount of money you actually build up over time. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have 2 options. You can invest $2,000 a month in investment A or $2,000 a month in investment B for 30 years. Both investments give the same rate of return, 6% before fees. So gross return 6%, same sophistication, same risk, same return. The only difference is that investment A charges StashAway's type of fees. We charge 0.8% per annum for portfolios below $25,000, and then decrease this percentage down to 0.2% for portfolios above $1 million. While investment B charges the typical banking unit trust type of fees with a 2.5% entry fee, and we are assuming a 2 years holding period, and 1.5% annual management fee. Those are actually below the average that you see in Singapore. And what is the effect of this is that after 30 years, the investment B, the one with higher fees, will have accumulated $1.2 million. Investment A will have $1.8 million. That's a $600,000 difference. This is the difference between a retirement plan that makes you go to Paris or Tokyo once a year and one that makes you watch a lot of TV. It makes actual real difference in your life. And this is why understanding fees is so important. So that's kind of one of the key cornerstones of our offering. So making sure you have transparent fees, one fee only, and that fee you want it to be low. Now the second topic I've talked about is the sophistication of investing, so bringing intelligent investment. Because the reality is that today it's very difficult to access the type of sophistication that institutional investors look for. So there are two steps in investing. First is asset allocation. And second is security selection. So first you need to decide what percentage of your assets you want to invest in a particular asset class, for instance in North American equities, or in Singaporean equities, or in Asian bonds. And secondly, once you've decided that you want to invest 10% in North American equities, you need to decide of which this 10%, how much to invest in Apple shares, how much in Amazon shares, how much in General Motors shares. Okay? Now, 80% of returns come from asset allocation. And this is where you want to actually spend your time and effort. And this is actually what I'm going to talk about in a second, and that's where StashAway adds value. Security selection, it's very difficult, it's close to impossible to do it right, and only yields less than 20% of total difference in returns. Now, I said it's difficult. Why do I say that? Look, I'll give you one number. In the last 15 years, again, I'm talking about 15 years, not 6 months, 15 years, professional investors whose job is to beat the market, so to beat, let's call it the S&P 500 for US managers, 92% of them have underperformed the S&P 500. So the job of professional investors is to beat the relevant index. For US large cap funds, whose index is at the S&P 500, only 1 in 20, more or less, have beaten that index. How likely are you as a non-professional investor to actually beat the index yourself? Very difficult. How likely is the manager that you pick to actually beat the relevant index? 1 in 20. You need to be very lucky. And that's why it doesn't make sense to spend too much time and effort on security selection. It's very difficult, it's not going to yield return, anyway the impact is very low, and you're better off by focusing on asset allocation. So how do we do that? We use ETFs to get exposure to a variety of asset classes. I'm not going to go through the whole list. This is our current list of 19 asset classes that we manage, and for each asset class we buy one ETF. An ETF will give you very broad and diversified exposure on the particular asset class. So for instance, if you want to invest in US large cap equities, we're going to buy an S&P 500 ETF, which means that you are de facto investing in 500 shares. So it's very diversified. You're not trying to do security selection. You're simply exposing an asset allocation decision. And as you can see here, we have a variety of asset class in equities. We have a variety of asset class on the bond side and real estate as well as gold. So I'll give you two examples of two different portfolios. So this is a portfolio with a StashAway risk index of 8%. This is a kind of a very conservative portfolio. And as you can see here, you're going to have a significant amount of bonds. You have some consumer discretionary equities, some European equities, some Japanese equities. Total for this is around 25%. Then you have US government bonds, 3 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years, over 20 years. That's around 45%. 15% convertible bonds, 15% inflation-linked bonds. And therefore, you have a very diversified portfolio, but with a little bit of a conservative view. That's why you have so much fixed income, so much bonds. On the other side, for instance, if you take our highest risk portfolio, we call it StashAway risk index of 36%, you're going to see you have significantly more equity exposure, but still a very broad diversification. So here you have around 6% US equities, 15% small cap equities, 15% consumer discretionary, and 15% technology, 15% Asia Japan equities. So you have around 65% pure equities, 15% convertible bonds, 12% real estate, 4% gold. So this is obviously very different from the portfolio we've seen before. And the idea is that depending on your personal risk preference as well as your timeline, so if you have more time, you may may want to take a bit more risk. If you have less time, you want to be taking less risk, you can decide which portfolio you want. In my case, for instance, I actually have 6 portfolios because I have different goals. So my retirement goal, which is very, very far away from me still, will have a higher risk than my safety net, where I actually have a very, very low risk portfolio. And my kids are still young, so for their university funds, I still have very kind of a little bit of risk because it's a long-term portfolio as well. If you now want to learn more about what it means to invest in a disciplined way through a systematic approach and get access to a diversified portfolio across different asset classes, how can you do that? How can you start and maybe learn a bit more about StashAway? Well, the easiest thing you can do is go on a Play Store or on the Apple Store and download our app. It's called StashAway. Or if you don't like to use the app, you prefer to use a desktop application, you can actually go to www.stashaway.sg and you're actually going to be able to build, to log in and create an account and build your portfolios there. If you also want to learn more about investing and personal finance more broadly, we have something called StashAway Academy. We hold free seminars approximately once a week on a variety of different personal finance topics, from very beginners to intermediate to advanced. So for instance, if when I talked about equities and bonds, you thought, oh, what is equities, what is bonds, then maybe you want to come to one of our beginners courses where we actually explain what is equities, what is bonds, why you want to have some equities in your portfolio, and what does that mean, and what are bonds. While if all of that is kind of easy for you because you've studied before or you're an expert investor, you may want to come to one of our intermediate or advanced courses where we touch on a variety of different topics. For instance, our advanced courses, we have What is Your Financial Plan B, where we talk about legacy planning, and we talk about term insurance, and we talk about how can you protect the kind of your dependents if you have any. Or our deep dive on our investment framework, where we go deeper onto the logic of asset allocation across different asset classes. If you have a company and you would like to offer a curriculum like this to your employees, we do this for free to the company. We call it Financial Wellness Program for Employees. You can actually find more information at workplace.stashaway.sg, and we're very happy to build a unique curriculum for your company. Now, if you want to test it out, as I mentioned, fees are a very important part of our value proposition and are very low. We decided to extend you an even better discount. So if you go to this web address, tiny.cc/SASCCI, tiny.cc/SASCCI, and you click there, you're actually going to be able to log in and create an account in StashAway and be able to actually invest your first $20,000 free of charge for 6 months. So no question asked, no fees charged for 6 months. Because there's no lockup, you can close the account anytime you want. You can withdraw the money anytime you want. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any further questions, feel free to go to our website, send an email to our support, or WhatsApp us at this number, or call us at this number. Thank you so much.
Create your very own websites at the comfort of your home. Want to help your customers to create their websites and earn a revenue from it? Now you can easily learn how to create your own websites at the comfort of your home through our online tutorial itself. Do click onto the link right now and get into actions and start to create your very own first website. Thank you.
Investments.
Want to learn how to conduct a Facebook campaign? We'll be teaching you on the 10 marketing objectives on the campaign itself. Not only that, you also get to learn about the remarketing strategies in terms of how you can actually remarket potential customers and how to attract new customers into your website. Now, during the class itself, we will be sharing with you on how to create mobile applications, instant and customizations. We will also be sharing with you on what to sell in the e-commerce stores, what not to sell in the e-commerce stores and marketplace. Not only that, you want to know about payment gateway, we'll be sharing with you on Stripe, Braintree, what are the payment gateway you should look out for, and what are the potential pitfalls that you should look out for. Click onto the below links and get to learn more about it right now. We'll see you shortly. Thank you.
Hi, I'm James Leong. I'm the founder and master trainer of Visions One Consulting. I'm an adjunct professor with National University of Singapore. I train for a lot of clients. Let me show you some of them. Now, I'm very committed to helping to raise the level of financial mastery of people so that businesses and organizations can succeed in building a world of abundance. In my 20 years of training, I come across a lot of people who struggle to understand financial statements. So today, I'm going to show you an easy way to understand how financial statements are created and what do they tell you about the business. But before I do that, let me tell you something about one of the participants in my workshop, and his name is Alan. Alan runs a very successful business. He has a product that can help a lot of people. But as his business grows, Alan gets more and more stressed. Why is that so? Because now he has to do budgeting. He has to look at financial statements. He has got to look at numbers and make decisions based on those. Well, you see, Alan comes from a non-finance background. So all this finance stuff is alien to him. When he looks at financial statements, he has no clue what he's supposed to be looking at. When he's sitting down with his bankers and his investors, he often got lost in financial jargon and terms. So he had a realization, he needs to get himself up to speed. Alan knows for a long time that finance is his weakness. He tried Googling, he tried to read books, but he could not get them, he could not understand, he get even more confused. He even tried attending a finance workshop, but it turned out to be very dry and boring. So he didn't learn as much as he wanted to, and in the end he could not apply what he was taught. So he brought up his problem to his friends, who gave him a recommendation to come and attend my training. So let me share with you a little about what Alan has learned in my training today. We're going to call this session Financial Storytelling, which is about telling actionable stories from the numbers so that it can drive your business performance. So specifically, we'll learn to take away 3 things. First, make sense of financial statements, understand the stories they tell you about business. Secondly, learn about how investors and bankers will assess a company. And thirdly, look at how wealth is being created in the company and how you can grow it. Are you ready for your learning? Great, let's begin. So for our learning today, I will be using the whiteboard and I'll be drawing pictures. Why pictures? Because it's going to help you to visualize the concepts easily, and it's going to make things more memorable for you, and you can see very dynamically how the concepts are being brought to life. So let's begin with a story. Suppose that you want to buy something, a property.
If it's generation 3 and above, it's about 6 months. Ours is 2 years. Yeah, that's why it's very affordable.
Say the property costs $100,000.
April, we are doing aggressive launch for Wush.
Now you look into your bank account, and this is what you find: $80,000. Are you able to buy the property? Well, no, if you rely just on your own money because you only have 80. But yes, if you use other people's money. So if you borrowed 20,000 plus the 80,000 that you have, you will have 100,000 to buy the property of 100,000. Now, let me share with you how this story will be told from an accountant's perspective. Accountants are often associated with a particular shape. People often say that accountants are very square. So I'm going to tell you exactly the same story from an accountant's perspective using a square or a box. So what I've just said is that you bought A, which represents an asset, 100,000. Now, how did you pay for the asset? Remember, you borrowed 20,000. We're going to call it L, which stands for a liability, because whatever money that you borrow, you need to repay. So the loan is a liability. Now, AT comes from your own money, and the accountant calls it
I agree. Besides straws, we also have
E, which stands for
those bamboo, even those there is
equity.
This plant
So
that goes in
80 plus 20 will allow you to buy an asset of 100. So think of assets. Assets is what you own, a liability is what you owe, and equity is owner's contributed capital.
When you go to the supermarket and you buy,
When you think about asset, what imagery comes to mind? Think of the pictures that come to mind. Yes, if you're thinking about buildings, you're thinking about machineries, you're thinking about systems, you're thinking about inventories. Those are typical examples of assets. Why would a business want to buy or invest in assets? For one main reason. Assets will help them to create value. By creating value, they're able to sell to their customers, and the customers eventually will then pay them in the form of cash. And hopefully, whatever they spend to manufacture or to produce a good or service will cost less than whatever they're receiving from the customer making a profit. So in short, the primary motivation for a business to buy assets is because of this. Assets create future cash inflow for the business. Now, once you understand the purpose of asset, then the liability will be the opposite. Liability will then create future cash outflow for a business because you need to repay the money that you borrow. Now, let me simplify this even further.
Question? Not easy, a big project.
Oh yeah, just to let you know,
A
I've been
equals
accepted
to
on Funders Beam. Funders Beam is the European platform for
E
funding by accredited investors.
plus
So
L.
what they do is that
Now, it's a very fundamental equation, which essentially is the way I have drawn up in a box. But it tells us something very, very universal, something very fundamental. Because it tells us something called the
campaign is live and all the shares come in, you know, a certain valuation.
funding story of a business.
Your stocks will be live.
All businesses own assets, and all assets will need to be funded. And there are really just two main sources of funds that a business can tap into. Owner's funds, which is contributed capital from the owner, or borrowed funds, which is your liability.
So that's the beauty of this platform. You have your own
Now, as entrepreneurs, business owners, we all want to grow our business. So when we grow our business, naturally we will have more assets. However, to grow our assets, we need to have funding, either getting from owner or getting from the lender. Now, this funding story will tell us something very important, depending on how you fund your business or how you fund your assets. Do you rely more on equity or do you rely more on liability? Now, why does it matter? I want you to think about this and visualize this.
So eventually you need to make sure that there's a
Imagine this is a platform.
Okay, so that is one of the
A being the platform, and it is supported by two legs. One leg is called the equity leg, the other leg is called the liability leg. Now, which leg do you think is more stable, equity or liability? Liability is something that you need to pay back in the future. There's going to be a future cash outflow. So in other words, liability is a less stable form of funding for a business. So the more liabilities you have, the more risk that you are taking, because at some point in time, you are going to be paying off your liability, and you subject the business to greater uncertainty. Let's take a look at an example. So we have a very high-profile public listed company here in Singapore. It's in the water desalination business. So it bid for a plant, to build a plant, cost them $1 billion. So as part of their growth, they're going to invest $1 billion on a desalination plant that could desalinate water at the same time generate electricity which they could sell. So assets create future cash inflow. So that was part of their growth plan. But because it costs a lot of money, the owners do not have enough share capital. So equity is not sufficient to pay for the asset. So therefore, naturally what they do was to go and borrow more money by raising L. Now, guess what happened? As as we said earlier on, the more liabilities you have, the more greater future cash outflow that you have. So unfortunately, after they built the plant, there was a change in the regulations. So the electricity market was deregulated. That means to say that there's more competition coming in, and hence the selling price or whatever they thought they could sell for could not materialize. They have to sell electricity at a lower price. As a result, the future cash inflow from the sale is lower than the committed future cash outflow based on whatever they promised their lenders they're going to repay. And hence, there is a mismatch right now. And as a result, as we all know, the company has gotten into trouble and is on the verge of insolvency because of this. So the lesson here to learn is that as owners, we want to grow our business, but it's also very important to pay attention to how we fund the growth of our business. So the more liabilities we take on, the higher is our risk profile.
Questions?
Let me give you more practical application of this concept.
Find him the right people. That means to say the right investors. Need more details.
Sure.
So basically, you know, with the money itself, right, 1.5 million itself. Yeah.
1.5 million is for 2 years of project. Then the next round, we are going to raise about 15 to 16 million.
So if you don't get the 1.5 million raise right now, right, what will happen to your company?
Assuming we have two different businesses over here. The first company on the top, the second company at the bottom. Now, assume that the assets are identical. Now, which company would you consider to be financially stronger and which one financially weaker?
Your product is still going to be out, right? Without this funding.
It's ready out. It's ready out.
Okay.
Did you guess the first one as stronger? If so, that's the correct answer. So there's less liabilities compared to equity. So the way we say is we say this company has a
and you already have customers.
Strong. I'm going to introduce another word for you here.
The company was about 400,000. 12 months, 400,000.
So this year, this company?
This year, this company, we are projecting 800.
Okay, so I must say
balance sheet.
In the next 6 months,
why balance sheets? Because if you take a look at the A, the E and the L, when they add up, they are equal and balanced on both sides. So for a business that has got a lot more equity compared to liabilities, we will say that this business has a strong balance sheet. On the other hand, if the business has more liabilities than equity, we will say that this business has a weak balance sheet. Companies with weak balance sheets are of higher risk, and in the event of a downturn, for example, or a recession, they will likely to be the first to go bankrupt.
So within the next
so the example that we
3 to 6
spoke
months,
about earlier on
books
about
and your
the water
customer base is
desalination
strong,
company,
right?
you think they have a strong or weak balance sheet?
Okay, because you know, no choice.
A weak one. So they have a lot more liabilities compared to equity.
Support.
On
And
the
after
other
that,
hand,
right?
if you look at a company like Apple,
because once
one
you
of
have
the
that
highest value
customer base to prove and the
in
books
the
is
world,
clean, and then
they have a
will,
lot more
you know, maybe
liability,
NTUC is
a lot
selling
more
at this
equity
amount of
compared to
volume,
liabilities.
Samsung
In
is
fact, the
already
ratio
picking
is
your
like
product,
3
and
is to
this is just in
1.
Singapore
So
office.
Apple has a very strong balance sheet.
Our investors will come in.
So the point
that
here
one
is
sure one
to
will come in. Okay,
note,
that's one part. Then the
if
second
you
part is
have
of course
a weak balance
you'll
sheet,
be very busy
banker,
looking
how
for
they will
people
assess your
in
business,
different parts
they
of
will
the world
perceive
to
you to
this
be of
product, correct?
high risk.
To
And if
actually
you
sell
go
his
to
product
them for a
out.
loan,
Okay, and then that's
the
where
chances
some
of
you
them
might be,
accepting your
able to
loan
help him
or
to actually
giving you a
push the
loan
product
is
all
a
around
lot
the world so
lower
that,
because you're
the
perceived to be
revenue
high
can
risk, and if you are perceived to be
that's the
high
part
risk,
that you all can
then
look
you
at.
might go
Of
bankrupt
course,
and never repay
during
back
that
the
point of
loan
time,
that you take from
yeah,
them.
you might have to deal sales for
So
his
the
stocks. That is where you can
key
actually
thing
come
here
in and
is
buy
that
and make some money from the exchange model.
as you build your business, pay attention to your balance sheet strength. You want to build a strong balance sheet. So let me summarize what I've just said. So the first financial statement that we just covered is called the balance sheet. So all balance sheets essentially can be broken down into just 3 things. They are all made up of assets, liabilities, and equity. And what does the balance sheet tell you in terms of a story? The balance sheet tells you about the funding story. How are you funding your business? More E or more L? So from the composition of whether we have more E or equity funding versus more L, which is liability funding, it can tell whether your business or your balance sheet is strong or weak. That's the first story. Funding story tells you whether you have a strong or weak balance sheet. And the tip for you here is, as you grow your business, pay attention to building a strong balance sheet. So let's review our learning agenda. So what we have covered is we make sense of financial statements, understand the stories that it tells you about a business, and how you could improve your performance, increase your strength, and attract investors and bankers who want to invest in your business. We also learn about how to create wealth using the wealth creation cycle, and overall doing more with less. Less expenses and less equity. That increases your ROE, making it a very attractive business. Now let's go back to Alan. After Alan attended my training, he overcome his fear of financial statements. He knows exactly where to zoom in and look at critical numbers that tell him about his business. And when he engages bankers and investors in financial discussions, he's now able to articulate with confidence using financial terms and jargon. Now, can you imagine what if Alan didn't attend my workshop? Today, he will still be lost. He will be making poor business decisions, and his business potential might not be realized. What about you? Are you still living in fear of numbers? Are you still making suboptimal business decisions because you don't know finance? Now, what if you apply what I just shared with you, the principles and concepts in running your business? Will you be more strategic in your decision making? Will you be better aligned with investors and bankers? And will you be more articulate and present confidently using financial terms and jargon when you do your pitch and your next business presentation? So I'm going to offer you a challenge. For the next 30 days, look through your income statement. Pick a particular expense item and think about how you can reduce by at least 1% that particular expense. Take a look at your P&L, look at your sales, look at one item and think about how you can increase your sales by at least 1%, either selling 1% more or increasing the price by at least 1%, and see what it does to your profit margin and ROE.
I've changed the slides a lot.
Can you resonate with Alan's story? I would like to add that today, for people like Alan,
so let me tell you a story. For most entrepreneurs itself, all demo day that we go to,
the best entrepreneurs and the best CEO have it. Warren Buffett said, accounting is the language of business.
I don't know why.
If you want to succeed at business, you need to know the financial value of
don't go and tell about your
business.
feature, don't talk about your
He also advised that if someone offers you an accounting course, jump on it.
next time entrepreneurs will come
Because
out
it's going to
here,
make your life so much
come down
easier
here the second time,
for years to
try
come
to tell a
when you
story.
read
Like
financial
Sarah just
statements.
your beginning, your starting should be a story.
And he said that learning finance and accounting is like learning
so now,
takes a
the
little
story is
study
about
at the
connecting
start,
the right people
it's
for
going
you
to pay
around the
you
world. Let me tell you
huge
this story
dividends
itself. This name
in
is
the
called
future.
Joe. Joe is a businessman. He's
So I'm
also
going to
a
share with you
retailer, just like all of you.
testimonials
You're a businessman,
of
you're
some
looking for
of my
opportunity, and you're looking for
participants
partnership.
who have attended my
You're
finance
all around. Correct now.
accounting
So now,
training.
the problem that he faced is finding the right people in the right place. I mean, that is true, right? That's why all of you are here for networking. So what is the problem? Unable to find the right connection for business and retailer. That means to say, right, every time you go for networking, you always attract the wrong people.
Statements.
How come
It
the
was
right
very,
people
very useful because
get
James
you?
managed
Not only
to
that,
make
right?
what
You know, guess what? You always get another call from the wrong people. Call from what? Money lender lah, loan lah. Okay, that kind of things are they always want to support you with loans lah, that kind of thing, especially as entrepreneurs, right? So you don't like that. Not only that, there's high cost in advertising. Because you're a businessman, because you're a retailer, you always have problem in paying money to advertise your product. You got a service, you want to advertise your information. This is your main problem, and basically you got no time and expertise to do marketing. When I say digital marketing itself, asking you to even do a brand campaign itself, awareness campaign itself, wow,
And at the same time, it
correct
was
not? So basically, no
really
time and
exciting
no
to see
expertise
how the
to do
numbers
it.
come to life.
So this is mainly for our businessman problem, and this is also Joe problem. Okay. So now, the problem is connecting wrong people. Okay, how to unable to connect the right people around the world. So now, what is the solution for the business people and the retailer? We call it Tag Online Marketplace. This is actually the first Singapore first integrated social platform. So basically, it's available in App Store and in Google Store. Right now, please download it. Okay. Now, we have different modules. Basically, what are the modules that can support you, okay, and that can help your business to solve all your problems and get you all the solutions. Basically, okay, we have the Connect Worldwide. Now, I'll explain to you how to connect worldwide so that you can bring your business not just in Singapore, but around the world. Not only that, we have the Open Social Platform. What it means by Open Social Platform compared to Facebook, Instagram. Now, we will be talking about video streamings, okay, and we also talk about video marketplace that is going to...
Are you ready to invest in your personal
so now,
and business
basically,
success?
Connect module. What is Connect
Demystify
module?
financial
Basically,
statements,
okay,
improve your business performance, and generate more cash flow for your business.
Basically, okay,
you are,
we have the
then be
search
sure to
button,
contact me at my
okay, in
email
the right
address.
place. Example, you want to search for people that is looking at business only. Okay, you just go to
When
the
we
business
achieve
or the
a
people
higher level of
that
financial
search. Not only
mastery,
that, you can read their profile,
together
what they are looking for.
create
Not only that, if you are going to country, example, I am now going to India. You just select India itself. Guess what? You are able to search the right people down there. Or you are going to China. Say, I am coming to this place itself. Can I get to know your business? So we have it all around the world. Not only that, you can search the name of the example.
Trade Finance, which is an open framework and platform for global trade and finance. It is built on top of ZinFin or Exchange Infinite. It is the hybrid blockchain platform designed for enterprise adoption.
Because people allow you to connect.
Previous to ZinFin, I actually set up one of the first production blockchain systems. I don't think many people actually know that development. It is a system that is, it's actually a platform for fraud prevention in trade and finance. This is live in production. It is running in Asia right now. And it is, you know, something that made us believe that blockchain is actually there, ready for production, and we could replicate the same process across global markets.
Not only that, you can block off unwanted people, which is important because why? There are too many unwanted people. And okay, now
ever since the phenomenon of blockchain has hit the market, trade and finance globally is the kind of use case that everyone has tried to relate to, because it is a very complicated cross-border, trust-based process, and there's so many moving parts. There's cross-border logistics, cross-border assets, there's settlements, and cross-border jurisdiction trust is not something that's clearly defined. Either you have law of this country or law of that country.
So basically, when you actually show it, you are showing to all
it is
users
one of the most important markets because it is a fundamental, fundamental creation of economy. There's a buyer and a seller, there's a supply and a demand, and how you deficit the bridge between them is what creates the new economy around it. And these are not small markets by any chance. If you just look at trade finance, traditionally this is about $30 trillion industry annually. This is the kind of value that flows around the systems. But it is also a market that connects to other systems. So, you know, if you're looking for guarantees or asset reduction, which also goes heavily with this market, that's also a market that's worth trillions. To mitigate your counterparty risk, you need access to forex markets, which is, you know, like $5 trillion a day or something like that. Many institutions and governments, they use this market for their procurements.
We have a video module now. Video module is
at the same time, it's highly constrained. There is, while you know it touches almost every part of the economy, you know it is highly regulated by the laws of a particular nation. It obviously needs and it is something that has, you know, there's a stringent check on the parties that are involved in it.
Videos inside there. We post 7,000 dramas inside there during the point of time. And right now we are hiding it. Okay, so within
you know, some of you would agree that the kind of retail banking experience that we have all been having, you know, that's something very superior, right? It has evolved in the last 10 years. If you look at how you send and receive money, how you access, you know, how you manage your credit cards, or how you, how the lending kind of operates, or, you know, how an individual at a personal level is able to access banking, that has greatly evolved. The whole experience, user design, and the speed has evolved. But if it comes to business banking, wholesale banking, it has been still stuck for a while, right? It's still very paper-based. There is, you know, a lot of manual processes and delays, and it carries forward in the trade finance market as well, because there are so many moving parts in the system.
The usage level
things don't really move. You still had, I think it's just about now that the effort has started for digitizing bill of lading or letter of credit. So Blockchain has got the FOMO finally to the regulators. We saw some of these platforms which were announced recently, actually maybe in the last 15 days. So eTrade Connect was rolled out in Hong Kong by a consortium of banks and the port authority there. Singapore is working on something similar. There was, this was just 3 days back, a shipping container consortium aiming the digitization of bill of lading. Banks have also joined the consortium. We have VTrade and TradeIX. Combo is initiated by Consensus. What these platforms are really doing is just getting banks to improve their processes around how they get business customers across borders, get to some form of agreement, digitize the products. I would really question if this is blockchain yet. This is something, an overdue process that was required, but we can call it a blockchain as of now.
So please take this app seriously, because
so where do we stand? We are too small to matter, right? None of you had
and the activity, look at the time. Usually, right, from in the late afternoon,
when we talk of trade finance, everyone kind of talks about the top of the pyramid. Select financial institutions, trade finance transactions that are done there. But this is not what we observed in the market. This market is actually growing horizontally in all directions, and there are a lot of disruptions in this market. Especially the market is actually more active at the bottom of the pyramid. There is more focus around SMEs. There are a lot more companies that have come out. One of the biggest disruptors in the market, are fintechs. Fintechs, either they work on the open banking platforms of the banks, or they've acquired banking grade licenses for themselves. They can do almost anything that a bank does, and they have greatly enhanced the user and customer experience. So they compete, they can offer the same kind of lending and wallets or money transfer functions, but they're competing in terms of cost, efficiencies, and the whole customer experience. And we've seen many success stories around this segment.
Our valuation right now is 2 to 7 million.
One of the fastest growing fintech, and Paytm, and they're also going in the wholesale banking market. So this space is actually wide open for disruption. Banks have started to fill the FOMO, so in spite of having the legacy, with them, banks have been either investing in fintech or setting up new entities that could speed up the innovation. The whole enterprise market is getting upgraded. So there are ERP systems now which talk in a very specific manner, and they try to make it more interoperable. Financials, asset managers, these are people who have this float with them to play in the market, to play more in the liquidity market, FX market, or the secondary rate market.
I'm estimating.
Settlement systems are a very important factor in this. In this space, because if you look at really any kind of liquidity, most of it is still coming from the domestic settlement systems. And while there is still the lack of counterparty risk mitigation at a global level, who has the most access to settlement systems is actually the domestic settlement system that's still possible to centralized switching and are being grown by central banks.
I'm looking for investors.
And then there are of course the trade finance consortium which have all gone up saying, hey, let's we are blockchain platform ourselves. We are a handful of institutions. So this is
now
becoming a very
resource partner.
three-dimensional growth sector. Everyone is doing a lot of things in this market, and everyone is trying to do their own blockchain.
Okay, that means to say
One of the most important factors in this game is going to be access to big data. It is, it's going to fundamentally change the way companies manage data. Because you could now just acquire users' data and verify it for KYC, ML, but there is, after GDPR, there's a whole new level of complexity into this. There's going to be, it's going to be observed how you actually acquire that data, manage it. But you're still going to need it, right? The KYC, ML still has to be done. In terms of credits, till now, financial institutions have been dependent on a selection of those entities that have been maintaining the credit data. But there's a whole lot of big data around the credit itself, which is coming from fintechs, which is a new intelligence. You have, new people, new companies, new enterprises, which are now onboarded onto the system, and there's a more updated credit data which is flowing from them. So that has to be utilized as well. There's something called intangible value, which is
that's why minimum investment
which is basically more research. When the deal is done, say, look at a syndicated loan transaction across many participants, and before entering into a deal, they want to do more research. So there could be something that affects the deal size or the deal financial during the life cycle itself, before the counterparty risk is mitigated.
Come in the right time, because by the time itself I don't want too many investors.
So
that
encourages us enough to go into this market. Going to build something, build actually a very interoperable kind of platform. So our first choice was naturally think of just building an app or something on an existing blockchain platform. But when we did a lot of back and forth and studies, we realized that we could not actually build on any platform, because either some of them were too public or too private. That means the private blockchain platforms did not have the public trust layer,
so for merchant,
and the public platforms were way too public or decentralized for having the enterprise.
The merchant itself, right? You are welcome to list your product down here with Check Online.
We designed something that would have that would go well with the that would have the least interference with the law and compliance system.
So you don't need to worry.
We designed
okay, not only that, Check Online will work with merchants.
This is something that we designed as a hybrid architecture. Many of you might have heard this term before. We are kind of pioneers in this because this is an architecture which can be more enterprise friendly. So it gives you a public layer, a public trust network, which is we built on the same virtual machine specifications of Ethereum, but it operates independent of Ethereum. So what we've added to that layer is instant block finality. It works on a different consensus. It is the delegate proof of stake. So there are existing set of validators who can approve the next delegate is coming in. And we've added the KYC ML on the nodes itself. What it does, it becomes an effective trust network and an interoperable network because of the instant block finality. A private consortium network, all of you know, it's a very important component. We've actually done some live deployments in this sector as well. This is where now multiple private parties which are not necessarily friends, these are competitors, they want to share data with them and have smart contract-based rules built on top of them. Also, there are strict data hosting norms which are there for financial institutions. Where you should host your data, it should be really on premises or a very secure cloud. So that is not
for salesperson that want to look for a job, okay, don't worry, we give you opportunity to be
and this is a very important component, the relay bridges.
So basically, okay, $300 itself, okay, can offer the price at 278, okay, 6 months is at 178, salesperson target,
which
2 merchant only.
Gives you instant finality and public trust, and you can build the relay bridges across any other chains. It could be with the private network or with the public network. So you can
basically how much you can
blockchain network for liquidity, or you can tune into
number one,
any
no
kind of
sales
private
for the day,
network
no income.
basically cross jurisdictional or larger network trust. It can also be an effective conduit for liquidity because the private networks are, or the systems that are run by banks and financial institutions are very well connected to the liquidity, and you can actually relate that liquidity. So right now, the only liquidity that comes in these blockchain markets is actually comes from exchanges. And while here in the US there are exchanges which are regulated, many exchanges around the world are not really regulated, and they're definitely finding it difficult. So what this lets you do is be an exchange yourself. You already have your KYC AML customers, and you already have regulated entities, fintech, who already have licenses. So these can actually relay liquidity with the public chain. So you don't actually need to have new exchanges which would in the process of aggressive expansion overlook some of the factors. You can just use the existing leverages.
Our decal everywhere in Singapore, so more people will get to know us. Trust me, more people.
A very important factor in any network is how two parties communicate between each other. So, we want to have a protocol that speaks every language. So, for example, if I'm in Russia, I speak good Russian, and if I'm in France, I speak good French. I'll be friends with both of them, right? So I can be an effective conduit for them to transact. And this is one of the principles that we have followed in designing the protocol, which is the communication layer, which can be used by multiple parties.
So everyone
working with them is to make it interoperable with not just existing legacy systems, but blockchain-based platforms as well.
Okay, so you got to connect.
One of the important decisions that we have taken while designing the protocol at the private network is to build it on the ISO 20022 standard. This is a standard of standards. I don't know many of you know this,
the power of check online marketplace, right? Okay, will allow more people to download. Okay, in Singapore, just a test page. Now, so I strongly recommend you to download the apps.
That it can speak the language of your core banking systems, your ERP systems,
you have to be a salesperson, you have to be my merchant itself, you have to be my investors.
Or different kind of data that comes across systems. And we have figured out a way using the protocol to take this, the way this operates currently with the centralized switching, to make it far more distributed. So you basically have the same hashing and blockchain functionality used over ISO 20022 to make it far more decentralized or distributed across participants in the private network as well.
Now I welcome market rate standard.
And one of the most important factors in blockchain space, like why is blockchain getting all the attention, right? It's because of liquidity. I think everyone will accept it, that it is liquidity that's what makes blockchain a real blockchain. Because other use cases are not really proven, it is the liquidity as a use case which is most proven here. So, the protocol is designed to be interoperable with fiat currencies or stable coins. These are some of the USDC, which is initiated by Circle and Coinbase, as well as Gemini USD, or USD, which is these are well-regulated coins which are pegged back to US dollars. Then in the regulated markets like Japan, where Bitcoin and XRP are already accepted methods of payments, I think XRP is going to come next year or something. So you can actually build effective relays with these networks as well. You can speak the same language with them. And it can truly work as a fintech solution between any two legacy systems. So we recently have done a deployment which will be announced somewhere by the end of this month. There was an insurance system, there was an ERP system, and there was a core banking system. And all of those were speaking different languages. They had tons and tons of reconciliation manual processes and intermediary-driven layers on top of it to do very simple things. So we give them a platform using our protocol for basically just put smart contracts onto this 3 different systems who are speaking different languages.
And the moment that I start to paste this,
so
what is
Trade Finex?
SCCI member, you all better be careful.
We are considering ourselves not competitors for anyone. We just want to be an open conduit, open connector for all of the platforms out there. It is based on open standards. That means any, not just trade finance platform, but any platform can connect to it. These are open set of APIs that you can actually use. We have made them, some of them live on our site right now, which we'll check it. But you can get started with some very basic features like just share a common data standard, share decentralized trade data across different fintechs or banks, or share different KYC data. We have actually implementing zero knowledge proofs there as well. Some of the intangible data about more profiling around assets, projects. You can have your private network interactions with it. The way this will work is, imagine if an insurance provider in one region is insuring its customer for travel insurance, and while that customer is traveling outside, it has to, that system has to work with the external trust system. So that is when you can actually have the private network interactions done with these open APIs. The network, the underlying network is Infinite. Exchange Infinite has a digital asset attached to it. So these you can also do post-trade settlements there. I'll actually get to that in the next slide as well. And you can relay the liquidity across different platforms. Because liquidity is one of the most important factors. Everyone wants to mitigate counterparty risk with more liquidity.
Whether people like it or not, I pay.
So we are a great believers, strong believers of the sandbox approach.
On the condition that they
we want something to be really tried and tested before we could hype it or before it can be scaled up. That's why we have approached the regulators. We've gone across almost 8 or 9 regulators now. This number has to be upgraded actually. So we have received
and people will go to SCCI.
Regulab sandbox license from AGM. This is a regulator based out of Abu Dhabi, UAE. And what we have there is you can actually connect with the local real-time gross settlement systems using our APIs, and you can do live test transactions. You can do post-trade settlements as well. So the digital asset of the network can be used to actually relay liquidity. You can do a cash in, cash out in the US dollars or other currencies as well. This is a GitHub URL. We are going to be adding more APIs over the next 2 months. There are some of them which are live already.
You paste the sticker also free one as long as you are registered merchant itself. Because end of the day, right now we still don't know.
I think I heard some of the talk and sessions which happened before, and I think everyone is a believer, or everyone knows this by now, that there has to be a standardization when you build platforms like this. So our approach is to let's have, and we already have sandbox license. Let's get people to come there and
when you become a merchant,
request some form of standardization, so we could have a set of APIs. We can build them on the ISO standards. We can make them fairly distributed and decentralized. And those can then be accessed by a network of participants as opposed to any silo development. So while some of you may come to us for specific functionality, we could develop the APIs for it and invite others to use the same one. So we get standardization out of the system.
3 months, then they make the commission. When they make the
One of
commission,
the visions around our platforms is that it should be owned by real customers. The real incentives should be for real customers because they'll have real utility around it. Till now, liquidity in blockchain markets was driven by speculators. So, as the market has taken a hit, we don't know how they'll behave. The kind of unrealistic expectations that people have. And one sticky, the stickiness around liquidity can actually come from real customers only. That's the only way we see it.
60 minutes.
So we are inviting the fintechs, SMEs, banks, financial institutions, of course, fund asset managers, regulators to come and join us. As I said or presented in the previous slide, we already have a sandbox license to do live transactions, and we have live APIs. We want enough of you to build standardization around it and gradually roll them out into
All the
production.
company will do it, don't worry.
We have approached several regulators around the world.
Give us the content, we
What
post for you
will
to tell
help
people.
is once we
That's the good thing. And then
prove
every month
ourselves
we
in
just
this
focus on that
jurisdiction,
one
we can
event.
scale up
But then what
so
event
fast
tell me
across
that
other jurisdictions.
you are going to have this event, alright, at this place
I'll
itself.
be,
okay?
we actually have
then I will tell you
table
how many
right
of
outside
my people that are generate go to
area
your
where you
event.
can
Fair enough.
meet for
But of course, your
any
event, if you
consortium
go buffet, I can bring more
membership, or
people
if you are
If your event
looking
go
for
buffet, and then
standardization,
after
build
that
it
you take
around
care of me,
regulators, we can give you the platform for it.
Makes sense, right? Like
Want to learn how to conduct a Facebook campaign? We'll be teaching you on the 10 marketing objectives on the campaign itself. Not only that, you also get to learn about the remarketing strategies in terms of how you can actually remarket potential customers and how to attract new customers into your website. Now, during the class itself, we will be sharing with you on how to create mobile applications, instant and customizations. We will also be sharing with you on what to sell in the e-commerce stores, what not to sell in the e-commerce stores and marketplace. Not only that, you want to know about payment gateway, we'll be sharing with you on Stripe, Braintree, what are the payment gateway you should look out for, and what are the potential pitfalls that you should look out for. Click onto the below links and get to learn more about it right now. We'll see you shortly. Thank you.
Tomorrow there will be a huge group of people in dating one all inside there. Now, you will start to see that there is what
Hi
business and
everyone,
dating right
I'm
now.
Shweta
right?
Sharma, the founder of the
So
brand
eventually,
Elfin Eligo. So you will be thinking, what is Elfin Eligo? Elfin Eligo is basically a French word where Elfin means beautiful and Eligo means choice. So that's why the tagline of our brand is a beautiful choice for beautiful you, because we totally understand that every person is beautiful. That's why we have different kind of options which are designed for different kind of personalities. So Elfin Eligo offers pure leather bags, wallets, clutches and backpacks for all kinds of occasions. So we have basically 6 different categories where we design bags for different kind of person and different kind of occasions. So we have bags for work, people who like to go to office and like to work, that is work affair. Then we have bags for all kinds of your trips and outings that comes under road trips. So you can see the design. We have all kinds of designs for men, women, and we have unisex bag as well. Then we have bags for the people who are vintage lovers, like who like the mix of contemporary and old style that comes. So you'll find all kinds of designs under the category Vintage Delight. Then we have next category, that is Street Diva, where we have such kind of bags which you can use for every day, which you can use for your shopping, outings, evenings. Then we have bags under the category Party Diva, where you can use the bags for your evening, for your parties, for all kinds of outings. Then we have bags under the category Runway Style, where you will find very different, very trendy and fashionable designs. So basically our company was founded on 1st September 2018, so it's only been like 8 to 9 months, and then we have tied up with the factories in India and China currently who are doing manufacturing for our brand. Then we are selling our product through our website www.elfineligo.com, and recently last month we partnered with Amazon, so now our products are also available on Amazon. So till now it's been like, since our products are put up on our website, it's been 6 months and we have sold around 55 pieces. So I feel for a startup company that's a good number. And then we are doing worldwide delivery. Like anybody can give orders. Like recently we received orders from USA and also from UK. Then that is a brand which is there basically in Singapore, registered in Singapore, but also we have partnered with few designers in Europe who are doing designing for our brand, and very soon we are like trying to find out a gap where we can launch the brand very soon in Europe, like few places in Europe like in London and Switzerland. Then this is a new sub-brand of Elfin Eligo, that is Tulip, which is where we offer non-leather bags, wallets and clutches for a customer. But this brand we specifically designed for Indian market, looking that they want such bags which should not be quite expensive, but they should get better design options. So definitely you can see all kind of such things in this brand. So we have planned to launch this brand on 1st September this year, and currently the bags are like sampling is already ready and bags are in the photo shoot phase. And so for selling, we have partnered with Flipkart.com, which is like the highest e-commerce website where you'll find much of sales right now happening nowadays online. So we have partnered with the Flipkart, Amazon, and also there is a website which has recently come up, that is giftsonair.com, where every day at least 2,000 sale is happening, like every day. So we have partnered with them. And the price range currently which we are offering in this brand is like literally very affordable. You can say that it is starting from 800 rupees to 2,500 rupees. If you take in Sing dollars, it's around $15 to $50. So I feel the price is very reasonable. And currently we have invested around $15,000 money in this brand, which includes company registration, bank account, then product development, packaging and everything. So everything, all the work is already done, company is already registered in India. And our office and warehouse is in Guntur, that is in Andhra Pradesh. Then we have, like we already, I told you, everything sampling is already ready. But as for the Indian market, I feel people to buy any new product, they need a known face. That's why we are planning to do a celebrity shoot, and that's why we need 20,000 Sing dollars funding, that is around 10 lakh rupees. And then we plan to cover up, like we plan to cover entire money which we have invested till now in span of 6 months to 1.5 years. Actually 1.5 year won't be required, I think we'll cover soon. And then because we are also getting offers from many MNC companies to do a corporate gifting solution for them. So I think that will be a really huge opportunity for our company if we start doing that. And if we do that, I think we'll cover our entire investment within 6 months. So that is all about my brand. And currently our website, that is Elfin Aligo, please do visit our website. You can check out the products which are available on our website. And then if you have any query, any feedback on our brand, then you can write us on our elfinaligo@gmail.com. And please follow our page on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. It's available. Thank you.
Want to learn how to conduct a Facebook campaign? We'll be teaching you on the 10 marketing objectives on the campaign itself. Not only that, you also get to learn about the remarketing strategies in terms of how you can actually remarket potential customers and how to attract new customers into your website. Now, during the class itself, we will be sharing with you on how to create mobile applications, instant and customizations. We will also be sharing with you on what to sell in the e-commerce stores, what not to sell in the e-commerce stores and marketplace. Not only that, you want to know about payment gateway, we'll be sharing with you on Stripe, Braintree, what are the payment gateway you should look out for, and what are the potential pitfalls that you should look out for. Click onto the below links and get to learn more about it right now. We'll see you shortly. Thank you.
For about 6 months, I have been in the gaming industry for the past 10 years. We provide services to some of the big companies you've heard of, Razer, Asiasoft, Garena, and so forth, many. So coming from this background, I created a product which I'm going to talk a little bit about. Before I flip to the next page, I only have the idea of what I do. I'm not in the gaming industry, I'm sorry. I'm not in the e-commerce industry, I'm sorry. I'm not in the new retail industry. What am I in? I'm creating an economy. What these three functions have in common is
her income per month
time spent on the mobile phone. Right? 1 million. Yes or yes? Yes, correct. So e-commerce, people like to shop, they shop this stuff, they don't buy. Gaming, they spend a lot of time on it, but when it gets tired, they quit. So the longevity of a player who sticks on the gaming platform, it's not like last time when we used to play games anymore, we can play one content for the next 10 years. New retail is something we're doing here in Singapore. I am a Singaporean, I'm based in Taiwan, China and US for the past 10 years. I'm just back for 3 months. Here to take a look at the industry because I'm interested in Asia, Asia Pacific, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam. Why? Because my users say so. So I'm going to the next one. Right, so who are we? So live streaming. Live streaming, we all know 直播, live streaming. We're the first live streaming game.
in the world. Alright? I'm going to cut this. You can see this. We are awarded Arcade Game of the Week by Medium. It's a very big platform online. Arcade Game of the Week. So you've been to arcades, you see live claw machine. I said I'm not in the gaming industry.
It's very fast to solve and
we're here, Dana Q, we launched, we are on the press, you can see, NBC, CNBC, Fox and Live. We are only 6 months old. This product, not the company, this product 6 months old. So, familiar with the machines here? Or the machines? Claw machines, nothing new to you.
That's me, the
coin machine pushes, nothing new to you. Alright? And the basketball machines. All this is available now on Android, iOS. Go down to the Play Store, type Getcha, G-E-T-C-H-A, Getcha claw machine. You'll be able to see us, alright? Same thing, you go online and check out with all these press, alright, we're there already. Why am I there? It happens that Medium picks us up, the press picks us up. We have not paid a single cent for marketing. We have about 50,000 users now. ARRPU, if you're familiar with this, $6. DAU, 400. MAU, 3,000. Alright? Upcoming is June. We work with Coca. We have opportunity to be invited over before I join here. Alright, to Coca. Expenses are paid for. To get someone to do the drone for us. So we're doing VR live drone league. Meaning from here, you can play the machine.
Also, I have
the current machine now in my control office.
Start to have problem,
the drone in Korea office. Alright? So what we're going to do now is, now you see the gaming part. So when you play, you earn something. You earn diamonds, you earn points. Right? Where does the points go? You won't retain the user, no stickiness. So you go down to shopping. It's not featured here, you can see in the app. Right, it's inside shopping. So you're able to go to our e-commerce website or platform to do shopping. Anything. It's like Carousel but on the international level. US, Thailand, Vietnam, everywhere. Alright? You're buying and selling using our point system, which is called Getcha Diamond. Alright? So this is one part. So we have events coming up here. Next year we are going to work with Lego UNESCO, alright, for One Piece. Next year we're doing the ticketing. So when you start to hit to this point, anyone lost?
And the secret is
anyone don't know what I'm doing? Or feel that, wow,
overnight, which I
where are you heading to?
And to save.
I assume everybody knows. So gaming is the front page that people come in, it's fresh, it's new, it's live.
I know how to do the
next, you have e-commerce, which you can exit from. And finally, to retail. This is why I'm here in Singapore. Why am I doing this? Because my users in the US are doing this. They're trading. They're requesting me. 6 months old, they're telling me, hey, can I go to Dunkin' Donuts? Can I get something from there? You know, vouchers and things like that. So this is the direction that the users want. 60,000 of them. And this is where we'll be doing. Alright?
2 years before I know this
so
product,
this is the, when we're talking about the Coca just now, right, in Korea. So this is invited by them, there's a press release. We signed up with the drone company to develop the drones, the VR and so forth, the remote. What we are good at is, for the game part, is live remote in Shen Yao Hong, in case some of you don't know.
I used to be 1,003.
So from here you'll be able to see under shop, game to e-commerce. You will see the flow very easy. From gaming,
those who wear glasses,
you earn your diamonds because we do not give you the gift. Most of you go to the arcade, you play, you catch the doll, you win the doll. You win the toy. We don't do that. So every room has the, has the return for you. 50 diamonds you win. 6, you win 50. If you manage to get it. So with the diamonds, you're able to exit to an e-commerce shop, which is exactly in the same app. It's not hard. It's directed straight over, not complicated at all. Then you'll be able to shop. You're able to sell.
For me,
as a seller, we have an algorithm for $1 to how many diamonds, from how many diamonds to what's the cost of USD, alright, or vouchers. So you see, new retail is here.
This is my record.
What do you do if we go to Yakult? You'll be able to use ours. We're not going to intercept in any POS system because that's going to be really complicated. Vouchers,
so long as
vouchers. Bringing new users to you, vouchers. That's what we're going to do.
Subsequently, every month.
Currently, on 30 days, this is some of the data that we can get. We're not integrated to the point that we have.
April 125, May 100,
this is
July
Google platform.
75 left.
Alright, this is what we get. Alright.
Since I started using
this is the old one, which is 4.0. That was the
201
ARPU.
October.
It's for 30 days. Now, as of now,
I realized I can read
this is 6 now. Alright.
Okay. I did
45 days
to collect my short-sightedness, but then my
90 days
started from 125.
So just straightforward data. Okay. We have our advertisements inside. We also get some
increase to 400, you literally cannot beat. So I was that close. And then,
so this is our business plan for 1 year.
Side effect of my
I don't want to touch on this now. What's the time now?
Without this product, I think my eye would...
Well, this is who I am. So this is our team.
But now
this is my technical director, this is my VP for compliance, this is my marketing. So my marketing is in China, my tech is in Singapore and Vietnam, right? This is my legal in Singapore, my legal team. So we are organized. Why do I need this for an organization? No, because we were doing something else, right? We're doing translation, localization.
And this I over improved, you know, from Laohua 300, now I become myopia 150,
of people
I asked my friend, hey, this one too good already, you know, almost.
The rest of the team are involved in.
But it doesn't bother me because I still can read without reading glasses. Yeah.
This is one of our international media, ESL.
And,
very strong in
China also,
what do you call this? Esports. Right, he's advising us accordingly because we are going into big. When we talk about VR drone racing, anyone know VR drone racing in the US?
2 weeks.
You know, right? It's a very big thing there, right? It's a leak drone. Speed. Really quick.
This is our friend in Geelong. Early sign of cataract.
Fly around here. No.
Early sign is
really
so easy
running
to
VR
tackle.
because it's really quick.
Okay,
It's a race. So this is what we're doing. It's officially holding 1%.
And
push this under
in fact, lots of people who become blind because of late state of flutter or glaucoma.
So John Weissman is
when they become blind, they say, oh, this is
opportunity to be able to be recommended by someone else who is a mentor of mine.
3 months.
Get him on board to look at
Flutter early sign
the
very
algorithm, the whole mathematical calculation,
cataract can be
whatsoever,
as fast
so
as
forth.
1 month.
Yeah, so this is
so wide already.
So this is
Cataract very easy to detect.
Alright, I'm done here.
You take a selfie, you can see already.
Any questions?
Or it become quite choppy. Yeah. And when it's clear, it is very easy to detect. So I'm sharing this message behind two purposes. One is you may find it useful for yourself. It's so handy, put in your pocket. One box inside like this. It has one eye mask which you can wash. And then you have 2 rubber bags which you once airtight shield. When you open, perfectly customized and you slot inside. And all you do is wear it overnight. That's it. Right? And I send for 6 score test. Make sure it's free of heavy metal and harmful material. So then I can distribute this. So handy. Anytime you take a subject and you put it into this for your eye factory. And in fact, the second message is this industry don't litter this look. It's very cheap. Retail, 1 box is only $40. And we recommend 6 months. 6 months is 1 therapy period. But for me, I started with 10 boxes. So, and true enough, because of the continuous wearing this, it clear out even to the last, fine capillary to open up all my meridian of the eye. And
hi, I'm Karen from Business Corner. This is my little shop here doing accessories. My passion is actually to customize for my customers. I do more than that. I do repairs work, I do customizations, and I also try to select the correct accessories for each of my customers.
So it can also work on you. And second thing is, especially this period of time, China have been closed, literally closed.
This is a stainless steel chain.
Travel out for 2 months, and now certain cities start to open and life start to resume. Even like Beijing, within China, if you go back to Beijing, you have to confine yourself for 14 days also. Sorry. Yeah. So this period, I found it so easy to talk to people. People have been confined at home, and then lots of entrepreneurs are so lost. They used to run 1,000 people, few hundred people, seminar, all this. Suddenly the business down to 0. Okay, and imagine that kind of frustration. And then my introduction in Hangzhou during this period, as soon as Sun Feng, the courier service resumed operation, which is only like 3 weeks ago. And her one day delivery could be 750 boxes, which is 120,000 rupee. It doesn't affect the business. And in fact, it's growing, right? So I recently learned also for this business to grow and how come they have this kind of income is because you learn exactly how to do WeChatpreneur, right? We call entrepreneur, but this is called WeChatpreneur. All you need is a WeChat platform.
So this is a very simple, just get a chain
you need to learn
how this pendant. And what happens is that when you look at the chain and the length of the necklace, you should actually design it.
Last time I don't know, I thought I know that I go and blast to people.
For this pendant,
people hate that, right? But nowadays I learned, I just provide useful information, but like 6 or 8 message in your friend circle, and let people notice you. And you try to build as many contacts up to 5,000 per account. And then if you have 5,000 people, you post a few messages, let's say maybe 1% notice. But these are precise customer you want, right? The conversation is either they want to use or they want to start a business. And to start a business, very easy, 300. Solving all these problems, do you think I will continue using? Of course, right? I want to maintain my eye as perfect as long as I grow, and it's so unfortunate. You know, for us 10 months, 300, not box, 300, take care of your life for all this problem I have. I spend because of this coronavirus WeChat training, which is for free, and two person love the course.
A very good morning, everyone. My name is Sebastian Swa, and I'm from a company called Hamilton and Sherwin. Thanks for hearing me today. I'm going to share a topic about how to stay profitable in the current competitive market.
Your distributor and all get from you.
In the general sense, most companies will face these 3 challenges. First, there will be too many competitors in the similar market. Second, some of the consumers are moving towards online purchases. Third, some of the consumers are price sensitive. So, the question is, what can companies do? One recommendation is you should consult an integrated marketing agency, just like ourselves, Hamilton and Sherwin. So the big question is, why? Because we can provide business and marketing solutions to drive the desired results for your company. These are the following expertise that we can provide. We can provide marketing strategy, creative proposals, media recommendations, video production, event management, as well as social media campaigning. So let's look at the 3 challenges again. For example, when you have too many competitors, we can help your brands to stand out amongst the competitors. Second, when some of the consumers are moving towards online purchases, we can help your brand in the online and social media environment. We can help to create interesting content to engage your consumers, and hence they will love your brand and make more purchases online for you. Third,
Any other question?
when the consumers are price sensitive,
I see,
we can help to position the products to be value for money. Next, we will see a short video introductions about our company.
It is very good. Thanks show for this vision. When people put recommended SCCI is kind of prestige brand. This will grow. This will grow.
I tell you something about this product. Okay, I want to tell you something. I ever thought you don't want to I ever thought the first time when I tried it, I just put it in this. So what I did was
From my distributor.
So what I did was I just put it down there. Then I don't want to.
We have organized many big trade events and consumer events, even Asia Pacific events that targeted at all the important people.
You think if now I conduct one event called.
Secondly, we also accredited with major media owners such as Singapore Press Holdings, MediaCorp, Viu, StarHub, and Buses.
So I tell all the auntie, okay, I say it.
So let's take a look at our 3 success stories.
Okay, experience it for only.
Up to date, our company has worked with more than 100 brands in the diversified industries such as the consumer industries, retail malls, technologies, education, and as well as property. The first success story I'd like to share is we work with AIA Singapore. As you know, AIA is an insurance. We were appointed in 2017 to produce that creative content on the social media front as well as the traditional media. So we have launched many products targeting 4 groups: the young couples, the pre-retirees, the pregnant moms, and as well as the young investors. So we come out with many campaigns, and hence because of them, AIA has become the #1 sales for life insurance in 2018. So for 2019, we want to do something more interesting. We launched a new mascot for them called Buddy. Buddy has all the positive attributes for AIA Vitality. But we want to do something more interesting to engage the young parents with kids. We actually produced the first music video, fully animated, all produced in-house. We come on the storyboard, the music composition, the animation. So let's take a preview of the music video.
It's so easy to do person call the same to another city, 8 or 10 anywhere in China, and then they pay me by WeChat. Everything is online. That's one thing. Follow that. Second is, the reason why I register with the I is I want to use Singapore as a platform for international market. So this one is, and also anybody can start as a distributor. Let's say you have 10 boxes, which is about the starting cost is only 6,000, and then the lower 100 boxes is about 2,000. The rest small stuff. Anybody can buy. Every industry. People have possibility to either act in the service and eventually replace
Okay, thank you.
Can I answer this question? Maybe it helps everybody. The question is, how long it takes for glaucoma patient to heal? It depends, because for glaucoma patient, the first thing first is reduce the danger of getting blind by reducing the pressure, which I know how to do. Gallstone to help overnight to heal the test. Then continue wearing this, and once the flow of the fluid inside the eye turn normal, then your eye will clear. But the time depends on it. which I especially
Thank you, right. This video has garnered more than 160,000 views on YouTube within a month. It also has won a big award from Muse Creative Awards. It has won a silver award. So on top of that, we actually developed further the other marketing collaterals for the client, such as a 3D mascot to be used during the events. This is a real life-size 6.5 feet tall mascot. We also developed a series of premiums, such as a cat, water tumbler, pencil box, etc. These are all used to engage the young parents with kids, so that we can start them young. So even for the events, we make it interesting by having a big panel for interactive games. These are some of the social media campaigns we did for using the Buddy mascot. We also injected Buddy into some of the product launches. These are some of the outdoor campaigns. And we want to make it interesting for the AA customers while they're waiting at the customer service. We actually install a claw machine. So these are the many ways we help AA to engage their existing customers and to grow their business. We are hoping that they also be #1 sales in 2019. Next, we want to share a second success story. This is for Signia Hearing Aid. We actually helped Signia to conduct a hearing awareness week. And we actually took up the whole project to conceptualize, to plan, to promote and manage the hearing awareness week. So we want to drive the traffic to the event within the 3-day event. So how do we do that? We actually engage the consumers via TV, online, outdoor and radio aggressively. We want to encourage registration before the event to confirm the attendance. Guess what? We have very positive results. More than 1,000 online registrations were confirmed for the 3-day event. Some details about the event. The event venue is at Gateway Theatre, Red Hill area for good reasons. First, we're targeting some of the senior citizens. We also develop a lot of marketing materials such as posters, press ads, outdoor for buses, social media, and as well as radio commercial. I'm going to share a short video for the event day itself. We actually deployed 45 crew members to do various roles. Some are doing registrations, some are doing setup, some are doing game booths, some are doing the hearing test. 50 of them were trained professionally to conduct the hearing test. And the client has only had 2 persons in the marketing department. So don't worry if you have small manpower, we can support you fully in terms of marketing.